Welcome back to O&M Live. We're not too far away from North Albury, taking on the Albury Tigers here on 1494 2AY. Gus McLeod.
I can't wait.
Joined by Scott Montgomery, Blake Panda Escott, and Sky Burgess for the first time this afternoon joins us on O&M Live. Welcome back, Sky.
Thank you. It's certainly a climate change for me, but I'm happy to be here.
How come Sky's come from somewhere tropical and with a tan and you didn't get a tan in
I've
Greece,
got a tan, it's just under here. You just can't
Just
see
red.
it under the 15 layers. Bit of sunburn back, actually. It was a bit uncomfortable on the flight home. But Sky, great to have you back. You'll be joining us thanks to the Newmarket Hotel this afternoon. We'll get you to keep an eye on the coin toss as well. But Monty, some selection news out of the Albury Tigers. We know that Lucas Conlon is going to make a VFL debut, but a surprise inclusion at Tigerland this afternoon.
I actually thought it was him running around out there during the three-quarter time of the reserves, but I wasn't 100% sure. I wasn't going to go with it. But Jeffy Garlett's running around out there, so he's back in.
Went and played a few games at Melton, I think, with his cousin or nephew. Yep.
Yeah, and 2 games at Portland as well.
Just some different areas of Australia to get around to. Yeah, why not? But Jeffy's back, and again, in probably not his sort of conditions, Jeffy, but we'll see how he goes, and I'm sure Albury just livens him up a little bit when he's around because he does add that little bit of pace around the footy.
One thing he will add, regardless of the conditions, a bit of spark.
Absolutely.
Regardless of the way the wind is blowing, whether it's raining or dry, he just adds a little bit of spark, and you can never leave him free. You always got to keep your eyes on Jeffy. Sky Burgess for the Newmarket Hotel. George Goody and Isaac Muller have gone up into the centre for the toss of the coin. Who's won the toss?
They have. North Albury have started with their first win of the day. They've won the toss and they've decided to go the Logan Road end of the ground to start.
Very good. Kicking to the sports club end. Panda, we can't see inside behind the glass, but I'm tipping it's chock-a-block in there.
Chock-a-block in there, yes. Tony Burns, the president, was in there putting extra tables in before, so it'll be chock-a-block in there, probably the best place in this facility to watch today's action. Scotty, who are we taking a look at on our 40-wing stat sheet today, are we?
Yeah, we're going to go with the coach of North Albury, obviously Tim Broomhead. Caden Winter, who's absolutely dominating this year. He has been fantastic, and he's averaging 29 touches. Julian Hayes, Archie Gardner, Jackson Weedham, all very important to what North Albury do and also rack up the tally. So they'll be on the 40-wing stat. Off Albury, we're going to go with their midfield, their core. We're going to go Jake Gaynor, Elliot Power, Fletcher Carroll and Jackson Kelly, who I think played his best game in Albury Tigers colours last week. And we're going to go with Will Unthank off half-back. I feel that he's someone that just sort of sits around that 20 to 25 touches most weeks and uses it quite well. So I'm keen to keep his stats today and see how he goes.
I like that.
Very improved player as well.
Very good. They gave him a chance 2 or 3 years ago at senior footy. He probably wasn't ready, but now we're starting to see what the Albury Tigers have seen for years gone by. Sky, a tip from you for the Newmarket Hotel.
Look, I was going in strong with North Albury. I'm a little bit worried about how the weather is going to change up the game, but I'm going to stick with them. I'd really like to see North get over the line today.
Blake Panda Escott on O&M Live from McRae Motors.
I think that the Albury Tigers might make it 5 wins in a row, Gus McLeod.
Scott Montgomery doing some good work for 40 winks.
Yeah, I'm going to go the Albury Tigers. A little bit too strong on a day like today, so I'm going to get them by a couple goals.
Albury Tigers by under a kick. Zach Sears is a late inclusion as well, so we'll get some more team news update. We'll get Sky to keep a look on that as the day plays out. Lucas Conlon is out, Jeff Garlett is in, and so is Jeffy Garlett for the Albury Tigers.
Jake Page straight to Tim Broomhead, boys.
A big out there. First quarter action is coming your way thanks to A-grade oils and batteries. I reckon the umpire is going to stick true here and make us wait until 2 o'clock on the dot.
That's his job.
It's 1:59.
I can't see
the clock's just hit 2.
Out there, boys.
Jake Gaynor, you're right. I think he might be a laid out.
Well, you better take him off the stat sheet, Monty, and put someone
else.
A-grade oils and batteries, the first term with Panda.
Oh, big ruck contest between Hanrahan and Muller there. Give it to no one in particular. Penny tries to get boot to ball there for the Hoppers. Powell diving in. Going to be a lot of this today. Scrappy footy, a lot of repeat stoppages. Who gets the territory?
So who's going to be the first one to face plant the cricket pitch is my question.
I reckon it might be the umpire. We've already had a boundary umpire come over. Hanrahan gets the secondary tap. Here's Ben Kelly playing in defence today. His kick is marked on centre wing by Isaac Campbell for the Hoppers.
So just going to try and maintain a bit of possession here, North Albury. They're going to kick long down the scoreboard side wing. Big contest forms. Minogue got there first. Unthank got bulldozed in the contest. And the umpire calls for a stoppage 55 metres out from North Albury's goal. Good contest there from Josh Minogue. Monty just asserting a bit of dominance early.
Yeah, that's what he needs to do. Just make sure the defenders don't want to sit in the hole too often and just go through him if he needs to.
Goody on hands and knees. He will be all day. There's a whistle here off the contest.
I think it was a netball.
Was it?
Yep.
I think you're right, Monty.
That's going to wreak havoc all day.
It certainly is. So it's a ball up on the far side here.
Good start.
A lot of stoppages, a lot of grunt work, a bit of a front hand pass there from Isaac Campbell. Winter, right him down for a 40 winks. His kick inside forward 50 is not efficient. It's out of bounds on the full. And the Tigers will have it in their own right back pocket. We've played about a minute and a half here, Gus McLeod for NZ. No score to either side.
Hope you're enjoying today's O&M live coverage. The big game between North Albury and the Albury Tigers. Wiedemann got a fist, spills out the back. Elliot Powell tries to soccer it forward, but ran straight into his own teammate in Will Blomley. And the umpires call for a boundary throwing true centre wing on the Alamein Avenue side of Button Park. Scott Montgomery, 40-week stats.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of this today. A lot of clearance, a lot of stoppage work. Need to make sure that the big fellas like Isaac Muller and Powell with the bigger bodies just get on the fly and get moving, I think.
So Tim Broomhead's trying to go and pick up Elliot Powell, and George Goody's trying to go and pick up Jake Page just to get a little bit of separation there, because we know that Jake Page has gone straight to Tim Broomhead with that hard tag. So watch for that one today. Scott Montgomery for the Newmarket Hotel.
Leaves Caden Winter pretty free though, Panda, which is dangerous.
36 disposals in the wet, and 31 of those were contested against Wang a couple of weeks ago. Goody tried to fire out a hand pass. Penny picks it up and heaves it to half forward here for the Hoppers. Minogue playing in front of Gilmore. Foster Gardner laid a pretty good shepherd. Bit of a foot race here between Minogue and also Unthank. The Hoppers just edge it inside attacking 50. Talent's there. He's going to run into an open goal and miss it from the top of the goal square. What are you doing, Keefe? Oh, dearie me, he could have kept on running to the goal line and put it through. Instead, he's dribbled it from 5 metres out and missed everything. Boundary throw in the forward pocket for the Hoppers. Wowee, I've seen it all, Gus McLeod.
Looks like me stumbling home in EOS, did Keith Talent. Had more time than what he thought. Ball back into play as Fletcher Carroll for the Albury Tigers exits defensive 50 up towards King at centre half back. Comes back now, McGrath on the right boot. Just looks to gain some yardage. Falls in the hands of Blomley. He wants to use the overlapping handball in Jackson Kelly, but the handball was poor. Good work from Groovy King for North Albury. Now McGrath for the Tigers. Throws it on the boot. Smothered. Good work by Hayes. Nice tackle laid there by Campbell. Falls out the back of North Albury via Reynolds. Just try to gain some yardage. Little 1-2 off the back of the pack trying to find Campbell. That whistle's wreaking havoc at the netball court. I thought the ball was out of bounds. The Hoppers hack it forward, but it's out of bounds on the full, and Elliot Powell will be the recipient of a free kick. And that right there just summarises what we're going to get today, Panda. Pretty scrappy, pretty miserable, pretty wet. But whichever team can adapt the quickest will come out in front.
That missed shot from Keith Talent there on a day where goal's going to be absolute premium is just a coach killer, I think.
He could have ran all the way in.
Not the fence. Panda, your fence has been damaged.
Oh, no. Actually, it's out. The panels are
Oh,
out.
no.
Oh,
Get a working bee happening.
that's $250,000 worth of damage there.
The panels are out here at Button Park on the other side of the ground.
This fence.
I reckon the umpires are talking about it out there and going to say, we
they
need
are.
to stop.
Remove the fence.
It's going to be a throw-in, not out of bounds on the full, boys.
So Tim Broomhead was about to bring the ball back in, but it's out of bounds on the far side here. Still trying to come to terms with that Keith Talent miss. He could have ran into an open goal.
Does it make the Instagram, Panda?
I don't think it does. It might make our O&M Live Instagram,
I think so.
absolutely.
That's what we were talking about.
Isaac Muller grabbed it out of the ruck. He did that a lot last week, didn't he, Monty, against the big Frenchman. We'll get back to you soon. Down at ground level is Unthank. Also Zach Parker here. Bit of a loopy hand pass. Unthank taps it back to Gilmore at half back. Finds Carroll with a bit of time and space. Kicks it in the middle of the ground. His intended target just slipped over, and Gardner's there for the Hoppers.
Handball missed the target. Jackson Kelly feeds one out wide. Onto Tiziani, who's worked his way up the ground. Switches. McGrath for the Tigers. Free kick. No, netball court once again. Elliot Powell on hands and knees. Worked his way into the contest. Wrapped up in a big tackle. And the umpire calls for a stoppage. Scott Montgomery, 40 winks.
Yeah, so scrappy. Not many players getting big touches already. Our leading touch on the ground at the moment is Isaac Muller with 2.
So here's McGrath. Charlie sends a high one, floating one to half forward. King and Reynolds. It favours the running man Jackson Kelly, who's going to set 5 from 45 and put it straight through the middle. He's in great form, is Jackson Kelly. 11 goals in the last 5 games, and he's got the first major of the day. A Sunjan goal today. The Tigers won straight 6. The Hoppers yet to score.
Yeah, Jackson Kelly, so dangerous. Kicking 3 goals last week against the Wangaratta Rovers. Starts his day perfectly there. Running onto a ball, and that's what you don't want. Don't want to give him space inside that 50 because he is a great finisher.
Sky Burgess for the Newmarket Hotel. 6 minutes into the game. It's the first time we've seen rotations this afternoon.
Yeah, on that colder weather, you can really just spend that time out there. It takes you a little bit to warm up, doesn't it? But North Albury have just done a full 4-for-4 rotation, and Albury is starting to get them happening now as well.
Great to have Sky Burgess back for the Newmarket Hotel. Can't wait to get to the Newey tonight.
Keep you warm in there.
Keep me nice and warm. Big shout out to Phil and Dean. They'll be tuning in on Snap Print Solutions TV. We
Dean
love
go
their
to
support.
Greece?
No, Dean's had a baby, so he's staying put. North Albury get the ball going their way.
Oh.
Great pick up inside forward 50 from Gardner. Snaps across his body to the top of the goal square. Minogue, front of the pack, burrows his way through. Great work from Big Josh. Hacked forward there. Good work from Quaid, just trying to get the ball in towards a bit of space here for the Albury Tigers, and taken across the chalk is McIntosh. And I'll tell you what, Josh Minogue, early days, Monty, is making sure that every Albury Tiger player knows that if you get in his road this afternoon, you're going to get absolutely poleaxed.
And that's what you want to see from your key forward. You want to see him go through blokes and stand in the hole. Don't give him anything easy and an easy exit out of D50.
Penny sort of shinned it forward. It was intercepted by the Tigers, who kick it long to the wing. Ramage tried to dive on the footy, and Garlett sockers it towards the boundary line, and Wiedemann's going to run this one over right in front of our commentary position.
You can
here
hear
at
it.
Button Park. You can hear the ambience. You can hear the rain pouring down on our marquee as well. Conditions putrid out here across the northeast end of the border. A wet day. Kelly, 1 straight 6. He kicked a goal here for the Tigers. They lead the Hoppers.
Scott Montgomery, you've picked up a jumper change for the Aubrey Tigers.
Yeah, Harry Cameron's running around with number 28 instead of the 43 that we know he normally wears.
Inside forward 50, Captain Grumpy, Jack Penny, throws it on the boot, but he got pushed as he went to kick it, and as a result, it's gone out of bounds on the full. But Monty, on a day like today, even though that kick from Penny's gone out of bounds on the full, it gives the North Albury Hoppers a chance to set up in D50.
Yeah, ground position's so vital on a day like today. It doesn't matter too much about where it ends up as long as you can defend the ground and you just get distance and get as close to goal as you can.
Lights are on here at Button Park as the Tigers lead 1 straight 6 to North Albury yet to score. Good contest. Front and centre was Ramage. Goody kicks inside 50, top of the goal square for North Albury. Falcon on Keith Talon. He's had a hot start. Minogue in the scoreboard pocket, kicked as he went to push. In fact, push as he went to kick, I should say.
Oh,
Duncan,
what a tackle.
run down tackle. An elite body and paint play of the day from Josh Minogue. Been awesome for the Hoppers. Kicks inside 50. Top of the goal square, not the best. Muller's in trouble. Gets a handball out wide, trying to find Garlett. Talent got some work to do against 3 Albury Tigers. He dives on top of the football now. Umpire should blow the whistle as it spills out, still spilling out. Then the umpire calls for a stoppage 20 metres out from North Albury goal.
That rain coming down nice and hard now. Sky Burgess for the Newey.
It is. The conditions are horrible for footy. It is mud that thick.
Winter tried to get boot to ball. There's 20 players around this footy. About 20 metres out from North Albury goal. We'll have another whistle. Josh Minogue certainly started well here for the North Albury Hoppers. Up against Hamish Gilmore, the only player to keep him goalless in 2024. Muller taps it to space. Swooping on this is Talent. Back to Penny, tries to fend off Kelly. He's been pinged here for a throw or holding the ball. Take your pick. A free kick to Jackson Kelly, who started hot for the Tigers. He's in D50. They lead by 1 straight kick. 9 minutes played on the NZ Albury time clock. First term for A-grade oils and batteries.
Bit of a purple patch for Jackson Kelly, starting to see what he's more than capable of doing in the Ovens and Murray. The Albury Tigers hack it forward on the Alamein Avenue side of the ground in front of all their supporters who are undercover, Monty, and that's a good spot to be this
That's
afternoon.
where you want to be. I feel sorry for Sky down there on the boundary line. I'm happy up here today, boys, with you guys. As Jake Page is copping a fair bit off the ball, just obviously the North Albury players trying to protect their coach out there, but he's going to cop that all day, I feel.
So boundary throw in, slightly towards attack here for North Albury on the Alamein Avenue side wing. Duncan wrapped up in a big tackle. Umpire calls for a repeat stoppage. Monty, some 40-wing stats.
Yeah, at the moment, inside 50s, 5 to North Albury, only the 1 to Albury, but they've kicked that goal, so major for them.
Polkinghorn playing against Charlie McGrath, who's brought to ground as the rain teams down here at Button Park. We're going to have a ball up right on the 50-metre line. Albury Tigers end of the ground. They're kicking to the club room's end. Muller wins the tap again. Zach Sears trying to get a boot to it. The late inclusion today. There's a couple of those for the Tigers. We'll chase that up at quarter time as we have another stoppage inside attacking 50 for the Albury Tigers. They lead by 1 straight kick.
Around the grounds, Mr. Stove's Pool World. Lavington out to an early 7-point lead. 6 plays 13. On our sister station, 15-6-6 and E's. The ball lingers inside forward 50 for North Albury. For the Albury Tigers, I should say. Hayes, dispossess, umpire, let it go. Free kick now. I think Hayes is going to be penalised in the end, Monty, for holding the ball.
Yep, which I think is probably the right call. On a day like today, I know it's stiff, but it's probably just there. just on today's like day, umpires just got to understand that it is a lot harder to get hand to foot, take it cleanly, all that sort of stuff. So that prior opportunity has just got to give that little bit more of an opportunity. But how good is the defensive pressure so far by the Albury Tigers when they get inside 50?
Harry Cameron for the Albury Tigers will kick from 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Makes nice contact, but doesn't have the journey. North Albury have numbers on the line. They smash it through. Didn't really kick through that one. Monty Harry would like to have his moment again, I'd say.
Poked at it big time, didn't he, Gussie? And I'm sure he would have liked to go back and really put his foot through it. But anyway, minor score for this day.
We're going to have a lot of that today. Balls fall short, not make the distance. As Hayes' kicks out of defence is intercepted by Fletcher Carroll in a rich vein of form. He likes an option in the pocket. It's Jacob Conlon, and he marks here for the Tigers. Pretty tight kick. Pretty far out as well. It would take some sort of effort. Tied up against the boundary, 45 out for Jacob Conlon.
Spoken a lot about Jacob Conlon, how big he is for the structure of the Albury Tigers. And on a day like today, he's going to be even bigger because he just takes that key defender. He really gives them a vocal point to go to and bring it to ground every chance. And he's going to get reward here by on a good lead.
So the Tigers with a bit of forward 50 ascendancy here. Conlon, so important for the Tigers. Kick's not going to make the distance. Is that a mark? I think that's the mark to Tiziani.
Oh, wow.
Oh, called to play on. He floated across beautifully.
Walker.
Did Matt Walker and should have been paid the mark in the goal square. And unbelievably, it's been called a ball up. Wow. Matty Walker, very stiff there. Conlon doing the ruck work on the goal line, and the Hoppers are just going to rush it over minor score. The Tigers 1-2-8. North Albury yet to score. 12 minutes played. NZ Albury time clock. That's on the Steel Line scoreboard.
Scott Montgomery, 40-wing stats.
Yeah, I don't know what the umpire saw there, but that was clearly Matt Walker's ball. Got the first touch of it and then took the second grab, so probably should have been rewarded.
North Albury from full-back via Broomhead. Good-looking kick finds its way to Winter, who's in a good bit of form. Inboard, trying to find King. Gets a bad bounce. Penny does well for the Hoppers to make a contest. A few players dive on top of this one. The umpire's going to call for a stoppage.
What was the jump number change again, Monty?
Harry Cameron's wearing 28 instead of 43.
And Lucas Conlon is out of the side alongside Jake Gaynor. In comes Sears and Garlett for the Albury Tigers. 13.5 minutes gone here thanks to NZ Albury. Carroll taken high. Umpire ignored it. Ramage was lucky not to give away a free kick there. The umpire calls for it 55 metres out from Tigers goal. So up in the ruck is Muller, uncontested. Hacks it inside forward 50. North have numbers at the back of the pack. Good work there from Campbell. Just pinballs around Campbell once again. Got taken high by Walker. Umpire's put his whistle away. Wiedemann now Goody. Garlett now for the Tigers. Throws on the boot. Snaps across his body. Top of the goal square and assisted through by North Albury's defence for the second minor score in a row. So Albury moved to 139 to North Albury yet to score thanks to Steel Line on O&M Live.
Going to see a lot of this as Julian Hayes just goes with a torpedo out of fullback for ground. And he's going to get the centre wing, but we're going to see a lot of scrappy footy today. Just not clean possessions, that's for sure, and just long kicks is all we're going to see, I feel.
Territory game today, Monty. Who can have the footy in their front half and make the most of their opportunities? So it's going to be tossed in right in front of the home club rooms here for North Albury. Muller certainly getting some ascendancy in the ruck. Stiff. They're the Hoppers not to get holding the ball. Goody. Head over the footy, finds Hayes, the vice-captain, left foot kick down the line. One-on-one contest there between Taylor and Unthank. And the Hoppers gain some yardage, boundary throw-in. About 80 around from their goals. We go down to Sky Burgess for the Newmarket Hotel. How are you feeling down there, Sky? It's nice and cold.
I tell you what, it is cold. The rain is coming down. There is a slight breeze starting to happen now as well. You can definitely feel the ground. It's waterlogged and a little bit slippery. So, yeah, we will see those skills just wet weather footy today.
Just a free kick in the ruck there too. Just an infringement against Broomhead. I think it's going to go against Jake Page.
So Broomhead, another 40 wings disposal. Kicks this ball with a shallow inside 50 entry. Nice work defensively from Byrne for the Albury Tigers. Pinballs around. Kieran Duncan on top of this one for North Albury. We'll have a stoppage 40 metres out from North Albury goal. Had a big chance early, Panda, but they didn't take it via Keith Talent as they go inside 50. Kenny, top of the goal square, Penny, I should say, and it's taken across the boundary or the behind line for a minor score. So North Albury are on the board. It's taken almost 16 minutes. It's a minor score. They trail by 8 points thanks to Steel Line on O&M Live.
As Unthank brings this one in, 15 played for NZ. Looking for Page. Broomhead did well. The Hoppers through Gardner. His hand pass goes backwards. And it's socket over the boundary line off the boot of Sears. So very scrappy conditions here at Button Park. Another boundary throw in on the far side here. Opening term for A-grade oils and batteries. We'll go around the grounds for Mr. Stowe's Pool World very soon and get a Ray White Rural Netball update as Muller almost threw that in the end. Tried to place it to Carroll, who snaps it down the line out of the outreaching arms there of Archer Gardner, and yet another boundary throw in as we do go around the grounds for Mr. Stowe's Pool World. I think the Panthers have got the jump on the Rovers at the moment, Gus.
They certainly have. I'll just hit refresh to give you the most up-to-date score. 3-2-20 to the Rovers, 1 straight 6. Yarrawonga lead by 7 points over Kyla Rutherglen. And scores are, guess what, Panda, between Myrtleford and Wangaratta?
Level.
Deadlock. At 0-0.
Goals will not be too common there as Elliot Powell has a free kick here for the Tigers in the middle of the ground.
At the 17-minute mark, thanks to NZ. He kicks a shallow ball. Didn't actually go inside 50, but Groovy King kicked a belter of a goal last week, Panda. Did Groovy. Long ball up and down the line.
Almost hit Muller in the back of the skull.
Comedy of errors there. Tracking it towards the boundary line. Albury happy to see it across the chalk via Will Unthank, whose numbers we are taking on the 40-wing stat sheet. Yet to register a clean disposal, Monty, but who is lighting it up at the moment?
At the moment, Fletcher Carroll's had the 5. Isaac Miller's had the 4, while Tim Broome had the 3 to lead North Albury.
I reckon Michael Duncan has been given the role on Caden Winter in the middle of the ground as well, boys. So maybe the double tag the Albury Tigers are running as it's socket off the ground here by the Tigers and marked by Jeff Garlett right in the middle of Button Park. His kick finds Quaid, who dropped the mark. Page tracking it there for the Tigers. Ramage dives in. Goody was clean. Shoveled it back to Winter. A high up and under. Gains about 40 metres off the chest of Duncan. Foster Gardner wanted a free kick and then just hacks it off the ground. About 30 metres here for the Hoppers. The first one there is Gilmore, but it beats him over the boundary line and it will get thrown back in. Monty, about 55 around from the Hoppers goal. Yeah,
just a lot of scrappy footies in there. Some drop marks, some drop handball receives, a lot of kicking off the ground. Perfect wet weather footy we want to see.
1-3-9, the Albury Tigers and North Albury 1 behind. A-grade oils and batteries first quarter action here on O&M Live. Elliot Powell gets the ball on to Carroll, I should say. Not the best kick. Duncan, who's got a good nickname we can't share on radio, feeds the ball back to King, inside forward 50 for North Albury. Good contest there from Taylor. Opportunity here for Campbell, pinballs around, Penny inboard trying to find Dennis. Just pinballs around here under the pressure of the Albury Tigers. Ball comes back to Campbell. Little left foot underground kick wasn't the best. Garlett clears defensive lines. McGrath's got some work to do. Feeds the ball to Harry Cameron. Now back onto Garlett. Garlett kicks long down the line. Wiedemann's got the best spot, lost his footing. Got a fist involved. Coming through now is Weaven. This is gross footy here, but North Albury prevail. Inside 50 goes Goody, good looking kick. And big Josh Minogue out on the lead. Probably the best kick we've seen today from North Albury off the boot of the captain, Mont.
Yeah, it was so scrappy by Albury trying to exit the defensive 50 that gave North Albury the chance. And George Goody, what a kick that was inside 50. Josh Minogue has not stood still once today. He has worked his backside off to get a bit of a separation there from Hamish Gilmore, and he's been rewarded with the mark. Distance could be an issue. I reckon that footy's going to be heavy already.
I'd like to see him go with a barrel. Why not?
Because you look like an idiot when it comes off the boot and goes 5 metres.
He looks like a genius if it goes through.
Yeah. And he wouldn't look like the biggest idiot in this term, that's for sure. Here's Big Josh. Big kick in the magnitude of the game. North Albury need to get closer to the Albury Tigers. Big Josh Minogue makes good connection. Straight through the big sticks. Stick the torp up your backside, Panda. Go the drop punt. Josh Minogue kicks his first. It's a Sunjan goal today. And North Albury, their supporters are getting a bit vocal. Sky Burgess, boundary side for the Newmarket Hotel.
That was great, wasn't it? And I've got to say, that was a great pick-up by Harry Weaven as well, to be in a contest like that, one-handed and take on the traffic and get it out to his teammates. So a great goal assist from him as well.
Well picked up, Sky. That was very, very clean from Harry Weaven, who's got the job on Jacob Conlon today. So 1 goal apiece. 7 plays 9.
Scaffold's a bit rattly.
Steer line scoreboard, rattly. That's all the rain falling on top of it. Oh, Hayes was almost dealt with by Winter there. Hayes got it on the boot in the end. Kicks it to half forward. Carroll's tracking this one back. In the end, the boundary line wins out, as it does a lot in these conditions.
Free kick. Oh, and the boundary umpire's gone over again on the far side, boys.
So we should be taking 40-wing stats on how many umpires
It's the same
go
one
over.
that went over in the pre-game too, I feel.
He's got runners on.
So what was the free
silly.
kick for, Monty?
I didn't actually see what the free kick was for, to be honest. I just saw the umpire pointing that way.
And that makes 2 of us. Poor kick. Jackson Kelly. Inside 50. King and Ramage fly for the Hoppers. Cameron's the ground level for the Tigers. Boundary throw in 40 around from the Tigers' goal. 7 plays 9. The Tigers lead here by 2 points. 21 played for NZ. And the first term is brought to you by our good friends at A-Grade Oils and Batteries, Gus McLeod.
Sky Burgess for the Newmarket Hotel. Ryan Polkinghorn's been off the ground for a long period of time, struggling to get back on.
Yeah, the rotations, and I've also been keeping an eye on Ben Kelly as well. He's been off for quite an amount of time, but he was getting spoken to by the trainer, so I am keeping an eye on him. In cold weather, he's been off for a while, so I'm wondering whether there is an injury there or not.
Could be a match-up thing as well, I think, with Ben Kelly. Obviously, not many talls today for North Albury forward of the footy.
Muller. This tap was intercepted by Gardner, who just clears defensive lines and trying to gain some yardage. Good body work from Josh Minogue to see it out of bounds for a boundary throw in right in front of the Merv McIntosh Pavilion sign here. Panda, true centre wing, Alamein Avenue sign of Bunton Park. Albury maintain a 2-point lead at the 22-minute mark here, thanks to NZ Albury. How desperately they needed that goal from Minogue. It's back to a 2-point ball game.
Well, there goes our scorecard question, doesn't it? Goody heaves it inside attacking 50 here for the Hoppers. Clean was Talent. Winter missed his boot, and he's going to get a free kick here. No, it's holding the ball. Good call, McIntosh. And it's going to be a free kick here to Duncan.
Old Maxi Byrne, I think.
Maxi Byrne, well picked up. In defence for the Tigers. Goes out wide. Went one-handed was Gardner. And in the end, another boundary throw in. A lot of play on that far side of Button Park here. Scotty Montgomery for 40 winks.
Yeah, absolutely there is. And we know that's the way the wind normally blows across the ground from our position here over to the change rooms. And I feel that's what's happening, and that's why they're defending to that side.
Sky Burgess, the Newmarket Hotel. An update on Ben Kelly.
Yeah, he has just gone out on the ground. He does look to have a slight limp, so
He does, yeah.
He doesn't look right. So it'd be interesting to see how long he stays out there for, and we can keep an eye on, maybe get a bit of an update from the trainers.
He's gone one out in the goal square. Looks like the 225s. Kelly and Cullen will lock horns down there at full back and full forward. Boundary throw in about 60 metres out from Albury Tigers goal here, Monty. So incredibly important for the North Albury Hoppers back 6 to lock down.
Yeah, they can't afford to give one up. Obviously, very late in the quarter here, probably only a minute or 2 left to go. They can't afford to give a cheap one.
Duncan, this is Michael for the Albury Tigers inside 50, and a good mark taken by Jack Reynolds. Finds a bit of space. Polkinghorn, who's come off the bench in the long sleeves, marks across half back here for the North Albury Hoppers in our broadcast position side. Little chip kick, not the best. Sitting in the hole is Unthank. He'll notch up a 40 wings disposal as he intercepts for Albury, true centre wing.
First 40 wings too.
Him and Keith Talent were just on different pages then with Polkinghorn and Talent.
Great.
Beautiful kick. Finds Matt Walker, who's led up beautifully. 75 from home. Shallow entry. Ramage came across and fisted it to ground. Then lays a good tackle on Tiziani. Kings over this football. Did well. Found a hand pass to Goody. He goes out wide to Campbell, who had to take that football. Hayes looks pretty slow there on ground level. In fact, it's Reece King as the kick comes to centre wing here for the Hoppers. Gilmore, good inside hand pass here to Hayes, and the Tigers go forward.
Ollie Hayes kicks down the line. Muller, good use of the body. Show of smarts in front of Hanrahan as Muller winds up inside 50 for the Albury Tigers. Big Ben Kelly was the target. Brought it to ground level. Gardner's tracking this one. This is Archie. Hacks it forward for North Albury, trying to get the ball out of bounds and as far away from goal
That
as
is
he possibly
deliberate
can.
every day of the week.
Yeah, we don't play those rules.
I
We
agree.
don't play those
In these
rules.
conditions as well.
Mason does as we go boundary side to Sky Burgess.
I've got to say, boys, that contest, you can tell Ben Kelly is not right, is it? He's limping. He can't really change direction and get to the ball that's being put up for him. So I don't know how long he'll last out there.
Boundary throw in. Muller, another tap out. Gardner was clean until he missed his boot. Reynolds there, Blomley as well. Nice little toe poke towards Tiziani, who's been wrapped up by King. Here's Kelly, tries to snap it back towards goal. Wiedemann just does the defensive thing and slaps it over the boundary line, goal line for a rush behind to the Tigers. So 1-4-10. They lead the Hoppers 1-1-7, not far away from quarter time here in this first term for A-grade oils and batteries. Gus McLeod.
And as Broomhead goes short, Monty, one thing the Albury Tigers are doing is when they go inside 50, they are scoring, albeit not goals, but every minor score will help on a day like today.
Absolutely will. They've been really, really dangerous, haven't they?
Polking on, kicks down the line, trying to find talent. Good contest from Keith, gets the ball in front of him. Unfanked doing some work, keeping his feet was talent. Now Polkinghorn for North Albury, joins in the action, hacks it forward off the boot and gains about 30 metres. And that's a great bit of work from Keith Talent. Maintained his feet, Monty, and then a Polkinghorn get the ball inside forward 50.
Yeah, one thing we saw too, both Albury defenders come to the footy sucked in, and there was a couple of North Albury players ahead of the footy. If they had been able to get on the end of that, they might have been able to run into open goal with an overlap effect.
26 played, opening term. The Tigers by 3 points on the steer line scoreboard. Muller and Minogue in the ruck. Fester Duncan, that's his nickname, which we will give out on air. Gets caught holding the ball. A great tackle there by Hayes for the Tigers, who can just take a bit of sting out of the clock here. He's going to go long down the line towards our broadcast position. Bit of a shallow kick. Powell read it beautifully. Kicks to space. 1-on-1 forward of the ball. It's Kelly and King. Big Ben Kelly will test that calf. His hand pass was Brent to Tiziani, who runs inside attacking 50. Keeps it low and kicks a Sunjan goal today for the Tigers. Great play. You can put that down to the contest back here with Elliot Powell. And the Tigers kick a late goal in the first term. 2-4-16 to the Hoppers. 1-1-7. 27 played. Scott Montgomery.
Yeah, how good was that? That is surged forward once they won that footy through Elliot Powell at half-back. Got it forward. And Ben Kelly read it so well, even though we know he's hampered. He's come off the ground since then. But we just read the footy first. Got there. Nice handball received to Tiziani, who was just on the fly. And a really nice finish in conditions like today.
Goals so incredibly important in this contest, particularly with the way the game is opening up. Probably for the first time we've seen an open 50 as well, Monty. Normally there's a lot more congestion inside 50. And Lockie Tiziani with a clever finish in the 27th minute. Almost 28 gone here for NZ. Not long to go in the opening term. Penny was held by Power. The umpire let it slide, then ragdoll as he went to kick it. Out wide, ball's in the hands of Gardner. This is Archie for the North Albury Hoppers. Umpire calls him to play on. In the green boots. Not his best kick, but it works out okay to Dennis. Too far to score. Not his best kick. Inside forward 50. Penny was there, left it behind. The Hoppers go inside 50 with Winter top of the goal square. The mark's been taken by Gilmore on the last line of defence. He's had better body work, Monty, better positioning, and the ball fell into his lap.
Yeah, days like today, it just suits the defenders. They can just use that little bit of a push and a shove and can really defend well. Oh, that looked a bit nasty there.
A great mark from the big ruckman, Zach Hanrahan. Just outside attacking 50 here for the Hoppers. Rain continuing to tumble down here at Button Park. He loads up. And Hanrahan stayed down there.
Did he cop a whack,
I'm not
Sky
sure.
Burgess for the Newmarket Hotel?
No, they tried to smother the ball and took his legs as he kind of kicked.
Well,
and then
he's all right because he just dived in and over that football then. Gilmore tried to find Garlett. The ball hovering around half forward here for the Hoppers as the siren sounds to end a pretty scrappy opening term. The footy's hard to win, but the Tigers kick 2 important goals to take a 9-point lead into quarter time. 2-4-16 to the Hoppers, 1-1-7. Goal kickers Minogue, Kelly and Tiziani here in this ball game. Stay with us on 1494 2AY and O&M Snap Print Solutions TV, because on O&M Live, you will not miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Shaping lives through nursing? Building communities through community services? Maybe caring for animals through veterinary science? With GoTAFE by your side, you can make it happen. From agriculture, hospitality, health and wellbeing, trades and education, to hair and beauty or creative, learn real skills for real jobs and careers right now. With GoTAFE, you've got this. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
A Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Half price until half time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half price selected beers until half time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
For out there, Jaco Albury Wodonga.
O&M live on 2AY.
Welcome back to the home of sport, Button Park. The North Albury Hoppers and the Albury Tigers locking horns on 1494 2AY. 2-4-16 to North Albury 1-1-7. They're getting back in their positions pretty quickly. So Monty, give us the McRae Motors quarters best.
Quarters best for me. I thought Isaac Muller in the ruck was absolutely fantastic. He only had the 5 touches, but so influential with his ruck work, and Fletcher Carroll had 8 as well, while on the other side, Caden Winter's been absolutely fantastic. And Josh Minogue, the way he started the game, led out, took out some bodies, laid a beautiful defensive tackle inside 50, and kicked a big goal for the North Albury Hoppers.
We'll go to Sky Burgess for the Newmarket Hotel. Sky, what were the coaches saying at quarter time?
What are you gonna,
we better turn her on.
Turn her on. We're good.
What about now? No, we don't have her. Bloody hell.
That's worked well.
We'll try and get to Sky shortly and find out what was being said at the main break. Can you hear that now, Sky? You got us loud and clear? No, we don't have anything from Sky. We'll try and get her shortly on the wireless mic. Second turn for Jaco Albury Wodonga. Monty, what do you reckon the coaches were saying?
I reckon it would have been Sean Daly would have been really happy with his troops. He would have been, come on boys, let's keep getting field position. Doesn't mean we have to keep it in our end for too long, but when we get field position, we need to make sure we score. While North Albury, I reckon it would have been, our defensive pressure was okay, just needs to be a little bit better and cleaner.
I think we got Sky Burgess back. We'll cross to her shortly, but Blake Panderescott will bring us the second turn for Jaco Albury Wodonga.
Powell, copped a high one there from Foster Gardner.
That's rough.
Powell hasn't moved, I reckon.
That's not great.
He's in trouble here.
Powell is in trouble. And Foster Gardner here has collected him.
Too, boys.
So it looks like we might have a stoppage in play here.
Elliot Powell has not moved, boys.
Not moved one little bit. So Foster Gardner came off and went with the hip and shoulder, and Powell stayed down here. Tensions could boil over a little bit here. Page and Goody are going at it, and Powell hasn't moved. That's the main thought here. So we're going to have a stoppage in play at Button Park. If you've just joined us, Elliot Powell looks like he's got some sort of concussion down on the ground. He's been hit by Foster Gardner.
I reckon it could be neck, boys, just the way the contact was. And he sort of sat up and then went down. So that's why I'm thinking it may be neck.
We might take this opportunity to cross to Sky Burgess for the Newmarket Hotel to find out what the coaches had to say at quarter time. Sky, you got us now?
I do. Thank you for that. IT, hey, it's good when it works, not so much when it doesn't. But I headed over to the North Albury huddle to hear what they had to say. And Timmy Broomhead, he was happy with the boys. He said good start. He really wants them to hunt the footy in that kind of rough contest. And as you would expect out of wet weather footy, said don't be pretty with it, just get it forward. If you do get it in that forward 50, like don't be too special and do too many handballs. Like just get it on the boot and try to get some scoring opportunity.
Scott Montgomery, who's doing some good work for 40 winks, the stretcher has been called for Elliot
called
Powell.
for straight away there, so bit of concern here for Elliot Powell, and not a great look. I think little Gardner might be in a little bit of trouble.
Blake Escott, you've got some A-grade netball updates for us. Thanks
do.
to Ray White Rural.
The Wodonga Raiders 62 have defeated Wodonga 40, so a big win to the Raiders who keep their top spot on the ladder. The Rovers 29, Lavington 44, Myrtleford 40, the Wangaratta Magpies 47. So the Magpies have defeated Myrtleford in our A-grade netball broadcast. A tight one between Yarrawonga and Corowa. Yarrawonga have defeated Corowa 35-33, and the Hoppers, too good for the Tigers here, 51-39. How about we go around the grounds? Guzzles as well?
I just noticed something, boys. I just saw the Albury trainers come over and ask North Albury for their neck brace. So that's why I feel it's probably going to be a neck issue more so than concussion.
He was bending down over that football when Gardner made contact and sort of looked like it cramped his neck a little bit, didn't it, Monty?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's probably more the main concern, I reckon, here for Elliot Powell.
Mr. Stowe's Pool World around the grounds. Tell you what, wouldn't mind having a Mr. Stowe's Pool World fireplace up in the open air box this afternoon. Blow the siren.
Boys, I reckon they're going to report him here. I see the umpires are walking over to the North Albury huddle, and one of the umpires is reaching into his back pocket, so we could see.
Was it Archie Gardner? Foster Gardner that might be in a little bit of trouble here. So the umpires, Monty, will get you to watch that one. Around the grounds, the Raiders will be saying blow the siren because they lead by a point over the Bulldogs 9-8. Yarrawonga 29 to Corowa 7. No score update at the McNamara Reserve. We're yet to get an update on that one there, so we'll try and track that one. Albury Tigers here at Button Park lead 16-7, and the Rovers trail 23-2. Lavington have kicked 3 goals, 5 to the Rovers, 2 straight.
Boys, there's something going on here. They won't get him onto the stretcher, and they've brought a towel out to put over him or a blanket of some kind. So,
and the umpires are talking to Captain George Goody here. And Panda, you've got this up here on the Snap Print Solutions replay.
So the ball was sort of just on the ground in scrimmage, and Foster Gardner's come off the line here, powers over the ball, and he's made contact with him there with his head over the footy.
I wouldn't say it didn't look to have too much malice in it, but it was clumsy and reckless, and he's caused a fair bit of damage to Powell.
Yep, I'd say that's pretty spot on there, Gus. So
now,
who knows what happens here in terms of the stoppage in play?
Well,
I reckon we're going to have a fairly big break here, gents.
I think they're going to be calling an ambulance the way that they haven't even tried to move him onto the stretcher. I feel that the ambulance will be called. So obviously I think it's a 20-minute restart there that has to happen for before the game can be called off.
You know all the rules, don't you, Monty?
Oh, I've been involved with a few of these sort of situations. So
both teams at the moment are out doing run-throughs and warm-ups just to try and keep themselves nice and warm. O&M Live is global in branding, by the way. Global and branding at the moment. People from all over the globe watching on O&M Live. A big shout-out to one of our former Ace Radio producers who's watching in Brooklyn.
Not the Mimster.
Downtown Brooklyn, where it's about 30 degrees and sunny over there in New York.
Perfect over there.
So hello
one of the great men.
Victor Mims.
As you can see, boys, Foster Gardner's been brought over.
Yep.
So
he'll be yellow carded.
Oh, this might even be
yellow.
So he'll be 15 minutes.
So
of playing time.
Time. So I'm going to say we went no longer than 5 seconds, Panda, into the game.
Yep, I reckon we've probably gone...
We've gone 5 minutes 11. So we've been not playing for 5 minutes here. There's a blanket and a towel on Elliot Powell. We've sent Sky Burgess to the Newmarket Hotel to go and get an update, but I'm tipping we're going to be missing an extended period of game.
It looks like they're going to try and use the stretcher now, guys. They've obviously done enough tests to say that it's safe to do, which is good. That's probably a good sign that they've done some tests and seen that they can try and get him onto a stretcher. But Isaac Muller's had a lot to say to the umpires right now, so I wonder what he's talking about, obviously the captain, with his co-captain down out on the ground at the moment.
Thoughts with Elliot Powell as well in this instance. Of course, Morris medalist hunting after the football here. Hopefully he's going to be all okay, and it's all just precautionary, but did look to be in a little bit of trouble, did Elliot Powell, holding his neck. As the rain continues to come down here at Button Park. If you've just joined us, the Tigers lead the Hoppers 2-4-16 to the Hoppers 1-1-7. So it's a 9-point lead to the Tigers. Third versus fourth, and a big game for the context of the top three in season 2024. It just looks like there's probably 6 or 7 bodies around Elliot Powell at the moment. They're just trying to get him onto that stretcher. They have got him on there right now. They've got a blanket over him. There's a couple of trainers over there from North Albury. Paddy Stowe's in there, and a couple of Albury Tigers trainers as well. And they're going to try and safely take him from the field here.
I hope they go around the wicket. You know, the worst thing that could happen is
slip
over through the wicket, which we've seen already today with a couple of umpires and a couple of players in the warm-ups going A over T. So he's got to hope they're really careful with this. Obviously, neck-related, very, very dangerous. So just need to make sure they do everything right here.
So if you've just joined us, Elliot Powell is in a little bit of trouble here, about to be stretchered off Button Park. Probably about 10 seconds into the second term here. 7 minutes played. A scrappy day, and Elliot Powell is being carried right now from the playing field. It looks like they're going to walk around. They're going to walk around that mud pitch, which is a good decision. You definitely bowl on that one at the moment.
You want to bowl pretty full. It's not going to carry.
Be hard facing that sort of stuff, Gusler.
Oh, well, Guzzies might actually get to the batsman because he bowls a few on the full.
He does. Well, no, they're
actually wide off the pitch normally.
You know I won the bowling award this year?
Oh, wow. St. Pat's C-grade bowling must be in strife.
It's in real strife. Sky Burgess has just alluded to the fact that she's got some update boundary side for the Newmarket Hotel. Sky, what can you tell us?
I do. I have got confirmation from the umpires that it is a yellow card for Foster Gardner, so 15 minutes, man down. And also they're now taking
Elliot
Powell off on the stretcher. It is a neck injury. The Albury bench have said that one of their trainers is luckily a nurse, so she was able to obviously give him the appropriate care. There was talk of the ambulance, but they are now taking him off the ground.
I'm tipping an ambulance still will be called.
Oh, I think so.
Yes.
But I'm glad they took their time, made sure they could do it, make sure there was no major issues before they decided to put him on the stretcher, and that's what you want. Bit of good due diligence in their care of a player like that in that position.
So 8 minutes has surpassed. The impact to Elliot Powell was caused at the 7-second mark of this game. So 16 minutes is going to be how long we're going to have to wait for Gardner to come back onto the ground.
Playing time. So when the clock stops.
Oh, yep, good point.
When the clock stops in the timekeeper's box, that all adds on. So it ended up being about 20-25 minutes of actual clock time.
So it'll be the 25th minute mark will be when
Foster Gardner.
Well,
there's a bit going on off the ball again here, boys. They're just in the Jacob Page and North Albury boys, and he's going to cop it all day, I think.
So for what it's worth, let's restart this contest.
Restart the quarter
with 9 minutes of additional time, as they would in soccer. And the ball's in the hands of Isaac Muller, Panda.
It is indeed. Muller keeps a low one, looking for Matt Walker. Look at those hands down at ground level, was super clean. On to Carroll, who tumbles it inside 50. Sears is plucked up out of nowhere, taking elite body and paint mark of the day, and the late inclusion will line up from 35 metres here on a slight angle to take his best effort here, Monty, I reckon.
Absolutely. Well, we saw Josh Minogue probably only 5 metres further out than this in the first quarter. Just get it through. I reckon Zachy Steers will have to give it absolutely everything he got with a heavy ball and starting in the mud where he kicks it from.
Massive kick in the context of this game to give the Tigers a 15-point lead. Young Zach Sears comes in. Kick on the way is pretty straight. It hasn't got there. Is it marked on the line by Walker?
It has to be.
Yep. It has.
Yep.
So he wasn't paid one in the first term. He's paid one now. And Walker will line up from directly in front. and he will give the Tigers a 15-point lead.
Just stayed alive, didn't he, Matty Walker? He knew it was going to go short. He was probably third or fourth in line, but just made sure he kept it going. And he's going to be put on a fair angle here. He must have been just outside the box.
Well, he runs around, snaps, and makes no mistake. So the Tigers lead by 15 points here. A really good lead in the context of this ball game. We've played 10 minutes of quarter time, but we've only played really about 1 minute of match time here. We've had a long stoppage with Elliot Power taken from the ground, and just the start the Tigers would have wanted after the restart.
Yeah, how good is that? Good start for Albury. Obviously, realistically, only a minute into this quarter, they've gone through and put the first goal, and goal's going to be at a premium today, and that's their third one already to start this second quarter.
So a game-high lead of 15 points here for the Albury Tigers in a game where it's tipping to be a fairly low-scoring encounter. And Sky, I believe we're waiting for the football to come back for the Newmarket Hotel. Might be over the back fence on Logan Road.
It has. I don't think anyone wanted to go and get it in this weather, but
I don't think it's gone over the back fence either, guys. There's a guy standing there, but the player...
This is going to be the longest quarter in history.
Good for post-game.
It is.
Water person's had to jump the fence and go and get it.
It hasn't gone that far. There's just no one down that end of the ground to go get it. Oh, wow. You see it all on days like today, don't you?
You certainly do. Well, the football's back. We've got another one in the middle. Caught me by a surprise. Muller won the tap for the Albury Tigers. Hanrahan head over the footy. A wild swing from McGrath. Gets the ball going forward. My goodness, it's muddy and wet out there on the edge of the cricket wicket. Between forward 50 and the centre square. The umpire calls for a stoppage. Will ball the footy up.
Days like today, I love them just blow the whistle a bit quicker, try and clear it out a bit more.
Muller won the tap. Poleaxe between two players is McGrath. Now the umpire's going to call for another stoppage. Right in the middle of the centre ground here, Button Park. Muller, big swing of that one, left it behind. Well done by, put the long sleeves on, has Winter.
Yep.
He's made the change at quarter time. Duncan for the Albury Tigers, kicks over the top, trying to find Sears. Got a good bounce, but fumbled at the crucial moment. Got around King, then on to Carroll. Toe pokes it forward, trying to find Blomley. Good defensive work from North Albury. A few players link up and they're happy to see it across the chalk for a restart 50 metres out from Albury goal.
So we'll have it thrown back in here, far side of Button Park. About 55 around from the Tigers' goal, who have kicked 3 of the 4 goals in this ball game here on 2AY's O&M Live. Carroll getting busy. Went by hand to Charlie McGrath, who loads up from 40, kicks to the top of the goal square. It's a 2-on-1. Archer Gardner got back and fisted it through for the North Albury Hoppers. And the Tigers move to 3-5-23 now. The Hoppers 1-1-7. It's a very good lead if you're a Tigers supporter. They lead by 16 as Hayes brings it in here for the Hoppers.
Pretty good kick. Works out well for Reynolds, who marks across half-back. Had a good season this year as Reynolds, Monty.
Yeah, much improved, isn't he? He's been absolutely fantastic. And he's probably one of the reasons why North Albury are going so well.
Goody, being good today. Handball's back to Reynolds. Reynolds wants to switch, goes to Hayes. Hayes opts for distance more than anything. And Keith Talent out in front. Takes an elite body and paint mark of the day. Good use of the body against Unthank. You can hear the players' boots sloshing around in the mud as Keith Talent kicks long, trying to find Minogue. Got manhandled by Gilmore. Umpire let it go. Right on there by Winter. Fed the ball back on to Reynolds, who's run a fair way. And Reynolds, for the North Albury Hoppers, kicks a Sunjan goal today against the runner play. And he works so incredibly hard, Monty, to get from half back to half forward. And quite opportunistic. Kicks a much-needed goal for North Albury, does Jack Reynolds.
Absolutely. He was instrumental in starting that play. Had a couple of touches early at half-back. Got it forward, but how clean was Caden Winter coming through. Had a couple of possessions in that run, and then that handball to Reynolds to get the goal from about 45 out. Luckily, it bounced through because it landed in a massive puddle down there on the goal line, but was able to get the skid through instead of the plonk and stop on the goal line.
Tiziani kicked a very similar goal in the opening term, didn't he, Monty? So just keeping it nice and low and skidding it through was Reynolds. I think his move to half-back has been really prominent for the North Albury Hoppers. He's been playing on the wing for the first year or so, and he's gone back to half-back, and that allows someone like Julian Hayes, Monty, to go and play in the middle a bit more.
Absolutely, and that's what they need. Someone who's a good ball user like Reynolds is. We know he's a smart decision-maker as well, but he just goes back there, really sets them up, and then they can get moving. As you said, get Hayes through the middle of the ground, who's such a good ball user and ball winner as well.
Broomhead's kick was smothered. Walker is set upon by a couple of Hoppers players. Umpire says play on. Duncan over this football. Goody getting a kick out of a tight bit of space. Here's Winter. Good hip and shoulder between him and Unthank. Winter now wants a free kick for a high. Not sure it was there. He was just bending down to pick that up and ran into the legs of the Tigers' opponent. He goes inside 50 pretty quickly, looking for Minogue. Working hard at ground level is Campbell. Here's Dennis. He was tackled. Lots of players around this football. They're fighting and scrapping as Max Byrne just clears it for the Tigers.
Not the best kick off the boot. Wiedemann did well. Walker had prior opportunity. Umpire let it go as he was wrapped up in a big tackle. And we're going to bring the football back into play via a boundary throw-in. Slightly towards attack for North Albury. Alamein Avenue side of the ground as we go to Sky Burgess for an update boundary sign for the Newmarket Hotel.
I tell you what, the breeze is definitely starting to pick up here and there, Gussie. We had a massive gust before, and as if it's already not hard enough for some of these kicks, it's going to really matter today.
And we can feel that breeze in the open-air box here at Bunton. And the fans are getting vocal down there, Pan.
They certainly are. I think it's a free kick to Muller, is it?
No, but then he's got reversed against Mother. He gave a bit of a shove to the head, so too high, reversal free kick.
Hanrahan inside 50. Gilmore had a better position on Minogue, and he just toe pokes it out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Bit of a mixture of fans under the balcony there, Panda, between North Albury and Albury, and a bit of hard to make sense of the Bronx cheers, but nonetheless, boundary throwing deep into attack for the North Albury Hoppers.
Oh, throw that
might have to throw that one in again. No, Muller gets there in the end. Winter finding a possession, and another boundary throw in. Deep and forward 50 here for the North Albury Hoppers.
Caden Winter's up to the 9 40-wing stats too, boys, so he's had a fair bit of it. But leading all comers is Fletcher Carroll with 11.
So a boundary throw in again. Let's see how this one is from the young boundary umpire. Much better. Good throw in. Hanrahan and Muller. Muller wins it down. First there for the Hoppers was Penny at ground level. Carroll finds a kick out of a bit of tight space. Tiziani copped a little bit from behind. Yep, that was from Hanrahan, and Tiziani wins a free kick at half-back, far side here for the Tigers, who lead by 10 points in this O&M Live ball game.
From McRae Motors, Blake Panda Escott and Gus McLeod with you on O&M Live, and gaining some valuable yardage are the Albury Tigers. As Monty, we see the ambulance arriving at Bunton Park.
Yeah, we see that one coming down. Alamein Avenue there, obviously, to look after Ellie Powell. Hopefully he's all right, and it's nothing too major, but they'll take him down the base hospital and just get a few checkups.
So he missed 9 minutes of play, Panda. The Albury Tigers and North Albury Hoppers medical staff assisted Elliot Powell off the ground. So thoughts go to Elliot and his family. Hopefully nothing too serious, but a neck injury is what we are expecting the outcome to be of that incident. The Albury Tigers, they lead 3-5-23. North Albury 2-1-13. 18 minutes gone for NZ. The ball's come back into play on the outer side of the ground, about 50 metres out from Albury Tigers' goal.
We're going to have another stoppage over there as Jake Page tackles Caden Winter to the ground. So a goal apiece, I should say. 2 goals in this second term for Jaco Albury-Wodonga. One to Walker, who marked on the goal line and put through his first of the day, and one to Reynolds against the run of play only a few moments ago. We'll go around the ground soon for Mr. Stowe's Pool World. Myrtleford taking on the Wangaratta Magpies, and a crunch game there for the Pies. And also the Rovers taking on Lavington on our 3&E broadcast game on our sister station. Broomhead pushed off the footy, went back in and got it, and then kicked it the other way. Back into defensive 50. Ramage over this footy. So is Campbell. Campbell just ekes a kick out of nowhere. Charlie McGrath was super clean. Off a step, fires at Goldwood. Good mark on his chest. Big Harry Weaven, who's got the job on Jacob Conlon. Monty?
Yeah, he has done really well. And Jake Conlon lucky not to give away 50 there as he moved after being called to stand. But I missed that one. But yeah, Harry Weaven's been pretty good back there so far today.
How's this for an Around the Grounds update? I've just tuned in to the Oak FM broadcast. Our friends Gambo and Co.
Yes,
they're up at Myrtleford, broadcasting Myrtleford versus Wangaratta. Myrtleford have just scored behind the only score of the day so far.
Did you think that there was down because it was 0-0 still? Is that why you...
I thought the scoring was down.
So you went and tuned in to our opposition.
Yep.
Wow.
And we got some great content.
Wow.
It's 1-0.
It's a soccer scoreline.
Seen it all.
It's 1-0 at the McNamara Reserve. And that one is to the Myrtleford Alpine Saints.
Extraordinary.
Could go to extra time and a penalty shootout at McNamara Reserve today. Scott Montgomery.
Caden Winter up to the 5 40-winks in this quarter already. Only had the 5 for the first quarter, so 10 for the game, but 5 already. And we've only played about 10 minutes of actual playing time.
I don't know this boundary umpire's name, but give him the grand final. That is a fantastic ball back into play. As the ball goes inside 50 here for the Tigers.
In the back.
Deep in the pocket. Pinballs around a North Albury defence. led by Harry Weaven. Happy to see that across the chalk. And we've spoken about a few players that made big improvements this year. A player that's been an absolute star is Harry Weaven coming in from the Hume League. Monty, he's been a key pillar in North Albury's success this year.
Obviously started in the reserves, but ever since he's got his crack in the senior side, he's been absolutely fantastic. And had some really big jobs too.
Lots of players around this pill. Goody and Reece King at ground level. There's Polkinghorne and Gardner, Archer do a few warm-ups in front of us on the bench at the moment. Thrown back in. And the only half-decent patch of ground here at Button Park. Wiedemann brings his opponent to ground level, and we're going to have another ball up, another stoppage. Repeating, the Yarrawonga Pigeons have beaten Corralla Glen 45-43 in a ripping A-grade netball game for Ray White Rural, as a free kick is plucked out here to the North Albury Hoppers. And it looks like it's going to go the way of Tim Broomhead. Nope, he throws that one to Jack Penny for the Hoppers deep in defence.
I'll have to get some updates for you, gents, but I can confirm that the game between Myrtleford and the Myrtleford Alpine Saints and the Wangara Magpies has only just started. They're only in the first term.
Maybe there's something happened in the twos.
Something must have happened in the twos, so we'll seek an update for you in and around the grounds there between the Alpine Saints and the Magpies. Meantime, live at Button Park, Isaac Muller against one of his former clubs, kicks inside forward 50, and a big fist coming through there, a double fister from Weaven and Wiedemann as they see it across the chalk for a boundary throw in. Scott Montgomery for 40 winks.
Yeah, you can see what Muller was trying to do. They had Conlon out the back, but on a day like today, the footy's never going to quite get there, and the defenders just have to get a fist on it, get a repeat stoppage, and hope they can just shut it down.
Boundary throw in here, as King does well to keep it in here for the Tigers, and then runs out of chalk, and we'll have it thrown back into play. Could be worse, guys. Could be at Myrtleford where you'll end that.
There's an actual box where we put the head on, yeah.
Well, I tell you what, they'll end that game in the dark if it's only just started.
No post game
at all. Isaac Muller in this ruck contest. Wiedemann. Weaven just taps it backward here for the Hoppers. Fletcher Ramage working hard at ground level. Penny and Goody sliding in. It's fun in the mud out there at Button Park at the moment. Weaven kicks it out of bounds on the full, and it's a free kick here to the Tigers.
It's not the worst thing that he could have done then.
It's going to be a free kick here to Fletcher Carroll. 45 metres around from the Tigers' goal.
Coming up for his 13th 40 wing.
He's been brilliant, has Fletcher Carroll. He's going to kick this one to the top of the goal square. Good mark, almost paid to Jack Penny, who just dropped it at the last minute. Sears is tackled. Garlett wants a free kick for a hold. Umpire says play on. And after all that, we're going to have another ball up. The ball hasn't moved from about a 20-metre patch for the last minute or so, Gus McLeod, for Macrae Motors.
Yep, and we're about 3 or 4 minutes away, I'd say, from North Albury regaining 17 men. They're going to stand up here in D50. King got taken high for North Albury. Jack King at a milestone last week. Panther game number 100 for North Albury as he kicks out wide and he finds tied up in the pocket. He's got Hayes for North Albury. Under the CMV truck and bus scoreboard, which reads the Albury Tigers leading by 10 points. He kicks out wide. Not his best kick, but he gets a restart and some valuable yardage for the North Albury Hoppers. Second quarter action coming your way for Jaco Albury Wodonga. A big goal earlier coming via by Jack Reynolds, I should say, running into the open goal. Monty, and on track to be one of the only goals this term.
Nah, there was also another one to Matty Walker at the start of the quarter.
There was 2.
So there's 2 already. Still in Greece, Gussie. Get back to Albury, please.
Back live. Cooper McIntosh sends it down the line. Leighton Taylor's going to get a free kick here for a hold. So here's a bit of play for the Hoppers in their attacking half. It's lived in the defensive half for a while, and the Tigers forward 50. His kick was smothered. Archer Gardner back on the ground, tackled by Reece King. And we're going to have a ball up 80 metres around from the Hoppers' goal, just forward to centre. Kicking to the club room's end. 13 plays 23 on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. 24 minutes played in this second term. Repeating, Elliot Powell has been taken from the field and an ambulance is here to collect him as Ramage goes back with courage. Tries to mark it at half-back for the Hoppers. And we're going to have a ball up 70 around from the Tigers' goal. Just in between the centre circle and half-forward, Gus McLeod for Macrae Motors.
24 gone for NZ. 2 minutes until Gardner can come back onto the ground and North Albury can get an extra man. They've done well here to stem the flow.
It's only cost them 1 goal and they kicked one themselves, so it's been really good.
Bit of a deadlock, isn't it? Muller asserting his dominance in the ruck. Kicks inside 50, tracking this one back. Well done by North Albury. Falls the way of Garland on the goal line. Jeffy misses.
That fumble hurt him.
Had a big chance there, Jeff. Couldn't quite get boots the ball in the nick of time. And as Panda rightly alluded to, Monty just didn't quite have the cleanest of hands. Minor score for Jeffy.
Yeah, absolutely. Just needed to be really sharp there. He only needed the toe poke going through. It was that close. He wouldn't have missed. But, yeah, he wasn't able to do that. So, unfortunate for Albury. But North Albury get to live again.
So they've actually put that as a goal on the scoreboard, which is wrong here at Button Park. Gets out the back of the contest on centre wing. King and Michael Duncan in a one-on-one. King just kicks it forward 20 metres here for the Hoppers. They run forward. And the Tigers get back well in defence. We're going to have a stoppage just forward to centre here for the Hoppers. King looks like he's playing a little bit around the ball. Polkinghorn back on the ground. Muller dominating in the ruck. Up against Jack Penny, who almost won that hit out. Wowee. Stiff to be Jack Penny up against Isaac Muller in the ruck today. Gardner goes in. Winter as well. Kelly did well for the Tigers. Duncan picks it up. Kicks it to true centre half back. Going in hard here are the Hoppers. And Penny fires from 20 and kicks a Sunjan goal of the day. Something from nothing for the ruckman, who was in the ruck only moments ago. And now he's kicked a goal, Scott Montgomery.
Oh, how good is that? He followed up that play. He did so well, stayed in it. That's what you need on days like that. A bit of luck went his way, a couple of fumbles here and there from both players from both sides, but super clean there. Super clean from Jack Penny. And I've just got a bit of an update too. A message has come through from that Myrtleford and Wangaratta game. A player from Wangaratta Reserves had to be taken from the field by an ambulance. Hurt his neck as well, kind of similar to what we've seen here. And the game got pushed back to 2:50 start time, so 50 minutes late, but they will still play a full game. So it'll be dark and cold at McNamara Reserve by the time that senior game finishes.
The Wangaratta supporters won't get home until midnight tonight.
It's 19 to 24 actually, Gus.
There you go.
Yeah, I've got that.
So under a kick here at Button Park. The scoreboard at 10. A little bit trigger happy, I think, for...
It's not my old man, is it?
I'll tell you what. Stephen will be getting a speaking to. So Pandas repeating that score for our listeners that are playing along at home.
So the Hoppers 3-1-19 to the Tigers 3-6-24.
Back-to-back goals for North Albury. The first time we've seen that today. Talent takes a good mark out on centre wing. He's got good mitts, does Keithy. He's taken a few good marks today in amongst the wet conditions. Kicks long down the line. Trying to find Minogue. Trying to keep it alive is Big Josh, but Michael Duncan for Albury sees it across the chalk for a boundary throwing. 28 minutes gone here for NZ Albury. We will be playing a longer quarter as Elliot Powell. His injury took up 9 minutes of game time on the NZ Albury time clock. Ball comes back into play. Muller on the tap. Hacked it forward for the Albury Tigers. Pinballs around. Good tackle from King. And we'll ball the footy up 40 metres out from North Albury goal. Monty for 40 winks.
Yeah, Isaac Muller, he's winning a lot of taps today. He's not having a heap of influence on the 40 wing stats, but just with his tap work, he's gaining 5 to 10 metres every single time he taps it.
Goody working hard at ground level, as is Conlon, who looks like he's having a bit of a run around the ball for the Tigers. I don't mind that. Get him involved.
There's only one player in the Albury half at the moment.
Goes to sort of tell you the sort of game we have here at Button Park as it continues to pour rain. Conditions horrible.
It's 2.
It was 1, and then Jack King retreated to man him up.
Cooper McIntosh shovels it out nice and wide as you two fight here in the box.
He's just trying to get me back.
Trying to level up.
Which I like to see. You've been away for a couple of weeks, Gussie. Over in Greece, sunning himself over in Santorini and doing all sorts of weird things. That was after Monty, of course. He went for a mid-season retreat to Vietnam.
And he went to New Zealand and everywhere. Not bad.
You're getting paid too much, Gus.
Me.
Clearly.
Yep, certainly am. Certainly am. No point taking your cash to the grave, boys.
Absolutely.
Sky Burgess, Boundary Side, Newmarket Hotel. Speaking of places I spend my money. Got an update for us?
Oh, he's on about Sky or the Newmarket.
I know. It confused me a little bit. Oh, my goodness, Gussie. You threw me out there.
We'll get back to you shortly. Keen to get an update on Big Ben Kelly. Haven't seen him
for a while.
Out there for a while. So Albury Tigers could be down to 2 rotations. As Jacob Conlon being quiet today, not the day for big full forwards. Gets a banana across the body and gains some yardage. Albury bomb it long up towards half forward. Jeffy Garlett back into the side, lost his footing. Well done, North Albury. Bit of composure.
Oh.
Talent. Looked like me in the slips. Went down and dropped an absolute dolly at centre half back. Had it on a platter for him. The supporter eyes will ball the footy up. Centre half forward here for the Albury Tigers. Keith Talent has had to mark that one, Monty. Lost his footing.
He did. It puts him under the pump now because it's a stoppage inside 50 for the Aubrey Tigers. Definitely needed to take it.
As Penny remarkably wins another tap out. Kicks to half forward. It's a good old-fashioned foot race. Polkinghorne's going to be first there for the Hoppers. Tries to go off the ground. The Euros and the Copper America are over as the Tigers, they soccer it out of defence. First one there is Gardner. He clearly got in the back there of Carroll. Umpire says play on. Archie Gardner knocked off the footy, did well here, tries to get a high free kick and he gets one.
Looks like George Goody may have done a shoulder here, boys. He's coming off out, definitely shoulders out still.
So we'll watch that one as Gardner goes inside attacking 50 and Leighton Taylor marks in the long sleeve for the North Albury Hoppers, but Sky Burgess boundary side for the Newmarket. George Goody and all sorts of strife here for the Hoppers.
Yeah, definitely looks in pain. That shoulder's definitely out. He had the trainer come out to escort him off, so they're going to have to give him a lot of attention when he gets off.
He's also done both shoulders before and had reconstructions, George, so it looks like he's in a fair bit of strife.
Has he got it taped up, Panda?
Yep. So Leighton Taylor here will fire on goal here from about 45 metres for the Hoppers. Oh, no, it's a shallow kick and kicked it straight to his opposite number. Oh, it's that sort of day. And it looks like it's Ty Quaid who marks here for the Tigers, deep in defence.
Well, that one won't be making the Instagram, that's for sure. Big contest here at half-back. Gardner tries to send North into attack. Kick missed the boot. Muller hacks it forward for the Albury Tigers. Gains some valuable metres. True centre wing. Lost his footing. Did Matt Walker. Panda's pointing at things I can't work out what he is.
Back on is what I think he's pointing at.
Yep. Well spotted. Inside 50 goes Winter. High up and under. Went through the mitts there of Unthank. Spills out the back. Duncan wrapped up in a big tackle. Umpire will call for a restart. North Albury just starting to adapt to the conditions better here, Monty, and starting to get a few more repeat entries.
Yeah, they're starting to get a bit of ground dominance too, I feel. The first half of this quarter was all at Albury's end, but now it seems to be in North Albury's 50 a bit more often.
Sky Burgess will go a bit down to you for the Newmarket Hotel. Foster Gardner back on for the Hoppers.
He is. They just came down and removed that yellow flag from the side and he's returned to the ground.
Just repeating, if you're joining us on 2AY for the first time, Elliot Powell is currently in an ambulance and about to leave the field and go to Albury Base Hospital with, we believe, a neck injury after he was collected by Foster Gardner, who was sent off and has now served his 15 minutes of time on the bench. And in that time, North Albury have probably had the better of the play, Monty. They've kicked 2 goals to 1 and they only trail by 5 points.
Absolutely, and I reckon what they did while they were that man short, they left Hanrahan on the bench and went with those smaller ruckmen just to give him a bit more dominance at ground level. Obviously, the big guys today aren't going to have a massive influence in the air, so it's probably a smart play there by the North Albury coaching staff.
Muller wins another ruck contest here as Campbell dives over that footy, and you can hear through our effects mic. We'll have another ball up right on true centre wing, right in front of the bunch of benches. Yeah, it's on here between Hayes and Jake Page here. You take it away, Gus McLeod, as Penny wins another ruck contest.
And a clearance inside forward 50. Top of the goal square is where North Albury want this ball to go. It's where they get it. Talent's got some work to do. Unthank socketed off the ground, so did Carroll. And they get the ball out to true centre wing for the Albury Tigers. King, this is Jack for North Albury, lost his footing. Polkinghorne feeds one back, trying to find Broomhead. Pirouette's got a handball away now. Reese King for Albury comes through. Wrapped up in a tackle and will ball the footy up. True centre wing, Alamein Avenue side.
Just a bit of temper starting to flare there. I think Jacob Page has been copping a lot off the ball and just sort of fired up, and yeah, his teammates didn't really get in and help him, but you like to see that.
So Penny wins it out of the congestion. He's having a very good quarter as Jack kicks it to half forward. Talent dropped the chest mark. Unthank slides in the mud like a little kid. Minogue dropped the footy. Parker wrapped him up, and a stalemate once again, 40 metres around from the Hoppers' goal. So 34 minutes played here in this second term for Jaco Albury-Wodonga. There is probably 7 or 8 minutes to go, but we did have a 9-minute stoppage as Hanrahan grabs Muller high. Yep, that's a free kick. Just reaching over Big Isaac there was Hanrahan.
Just clearance numbers for the quarter, boys. 13 to North Albury, 10 to the Albury Tigers. So it's really starting to narrow back the total game.
So Duncan has it at half back. Beautiful mark out wide by Fletcher Carroll. Takes a ripper on his chest, an elite body and paint mark of the day. The Tigers just going to take a little bit of sting out of this one, Gus. They're going to go long to a contest.
Fletcher Carroll was late today, boys. Forgot his boots.
Really?
Bad day to play in the cross trainers. The boundary umpire can tell you that.
It's like forgetting your whites.
Kicks up towards half forward, turned over. North Albury have numbers Plenty of numbers across half back. They're going to bring the ball out towards our broadcast side. Weaven finds the right boot. Not the best kick. Bit of a fingertip, man. Groovy King got an absolute falcon. Working hard here is Duncan. Man they call Fester. Polkinghorn keeps the ball alive. Trying to get the ball out now is North Albury. And they do so. And looks like Fester's a bit limpy here, Panda. He's jogging away with a bit of a limp. He's Kieran Duncan, who has been a much improved football this year, Panda. I believe his pre-season involved a fair bit of time behind the wheel.
Yeah, no, he travelled in from West Wyalong just to play a little bit of footy. Did Duncan.
No footy clubs up that way? Or
I think he played there last year, but messaged the club and they said, come on down. Larry Edna style. Ollie Hayes over the footy. That was a poor joke. I do apologise. I do apologise.
He didn't even say it.
I do apologise to our audience on 2AY and O&M Snapprint Solutions TV. We're trying to polish a turd here at Button Park. Muller did well. Broomhead grabbed him out of the ruck. And going back here and taking another mark is Jack Penny, who's having some quarter for the Hoppers. He kicks it forward.
The ruckman, as Panda described him before, kicks up to half forward. Minogue just dropped a mark. He would have backed him in to take. Taylor kicks to the top of the goal square, pinballs around. It's in a puddle. You can't make this up. That ball just stopped dead in its tracks. And the umpire calls for a stoppage. We'll ball it up.
Nathan Dennis had two cracks at that and missed his boot twice.
Oh, you'll hate that, Dennis.
Oh.
Funniest home video. Send this sort of stuff into the footy show.
And Keith Tallent's missing the first
boys,
quarter.
Hanrahan's being helped from the ground here too by trainers.
As the siren sounds, I think a little bit premature. That would make it a 25-minute quarter.
No, 28.
Yeah. 27. 9-minute stoppage, 36 minutes. That's gone.
At half-time here, it's been a close contest. A lot of soldiers wounded. Elliot Powell's off for the Albury Tigers, so is Ben Kelly. George Goody's got a shoulder injury, and now the big ruckman for the North Albury Hoppers in Hanrahan is off as well. Plenty to play out in this contest, and it's only a 5-point margin at the main break. We'll take a break here on O&M Live and bring you the halftime show. On the other side, Albury lead 3-6-24 to North Albury 3-1-19 on O&M Live, where you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Shaping lives through nursing? Building communities through community services? Maybe caring for animals through veterinary science? With GoTAFE by your side, you can make it happen. From agriculture, hospitality, health and wellbeing, trades and education, to hair and beauty or creative, learn real skills for real jobs and careers right now. With GoTAFE, you've got this. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Half price until half time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half price selected beers until half time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Cold, wet and miserable here at Bunton Park is the agenda at half-time as the Albury Tigers hold a narrow lead at the big break. 3-6-24 to 3-1-19. But there is plenty happening, Scott Montgomery, plenty happening on the injury front. First and foremost, an update on Elliot Powell.
Yeah, the ambulance is here, been here for most of that second quarter, and the paramedics have just loaded the bed with Elliot Powell on it into the back of the ambulance, so he'll be heading down to the base hospital very, very shortly. Yeah, it must have been not too bad for them to be able to get him onto the stretcher on the ground. And then a few other injuries too with Ben Kelly, I think. He's gone for the day, and George Goody's got the shoulder out, so he's probably going to be close to done for the day. And we saw Zach Hanrahan being helped to the bench late in that quarter as well by the trainer, so what his health will be, we'll find out in the second half.
So that means that both teams potentially will be two players off.
Yep.
Well, they are. The Tigers are two rotations down. We know Powell and also Kelly are done for the day. Goody's popped his shoulder out, but he might try and come back on. I highly doubt that he will, or even be allowed to by Patrick Stowe, the physio over there at North Albury. And Hanrahan looks like he's pretty injured as well. So it could be 20 on 20, Monty.
Well, the rotations don't have to be high on a day like today, but we saw in the twos a lot of cramping going on. And days like today, you can feel it a bit more because you've got to work so much harder through the bottom part of your body to run because you're pushing through mud rather than nice, hard surface. So, yeah, we'll wait and see what happens later on in the game. And I think it's just going to become a bit of a slogfest like we've seen in this first half.
Certainly is. Hope you're enjoying the pictures on O&M Snapprint Solutions TV from Danny, our cameraman, and, of course, the call on 1494 2AY.
Doing a great job.
Back in the studio, making sure we're going to air here on a very miserable day. Let's go around the ground, shall we, for a couple of score updates in the SS&A Ovens and Murray. Repeating, Monty, that the game between the Magpies and the Myrtleford Alpine Saints was a delayed start due to why?
Yeah, in the reserves, there was a player that had to be helped from the ground by an ambulance, so they had to call the ambulance to the ground. He hurt his neck, so they didn't want to move him at all. It was a Wangaratta reserves player. He was taken from the ground. It was a 50-minute delay, so the senior game started at 2:50, so they'll be 50 minutes behind with their finish time because it will still be a full game because it didn't happen during their game.
A tight one over at Martin Park. The Dogs lead by a goal. 22 plays 16 in the Wodonga derby over there. Yarrawonga with a big margin over the Coral Rutherglen at the moment. They lead that one by 48 points, 62 to 14. The Magpies 3-1-19 lead the Saints 2-3-15. Here it is 24 plays 19 between the Tigers and the Hoppers. The Tigers up in that one. And Lavington just holding on to a slender lead, 3-7. So bagging again for the Panthers 25 over the Rovers 3-1-19. So
they're just not getting enough looks, the Rovers, are they? Even last week, they really could have got blown away, but they're just not getting enough looks at it if they only had 4 shots on goal.
Yep, 4 shots on goal. Monty, if you're Anthony Miles and Sean Daly and you're Tim Broomhead for the North Albury Hoppers, what are your main messages? They sort of all your structures go out the window on a day like today, but it really is going to be down to what team wants it more and adapts to the conditions after half-time better.
Absolutely. You've just got to ask your players to put your body on the line. It's going to be a hard slog. You just got to get it moving our way. If you're on the ground and you can't get a boot to it, get a fist on it, just any sort of meterage today is going to be so vital. And once you get it inside your 50, you've got to lock it down. Your smalls need to go to work and just tackle their backsides off, and the big guys just need to make sure they provide a target and bring it to ground and bring those little guys into the game, because we've seen it's just going to get harder and harder to score as the game goes on. So as much ground position you can have, the more chance you are of scoring.
How have you seen the tagging role of Jake Page on Tim Broomhead at the moment? I mean, I'm not really sure of Timmy's numbers. We know he's around the ball, but it sort of just goes out of the window a little bit on a day like today. And also we have Weaven on Conlon and Gilmore on Minogue.
Yeah, I feel that Tim Broomhead's been held really well by Jake Page. And on days like today, we've seen him in the past still get pretty good numbers. I've got him down for 6 40-wing stats at the moment, so been very slow. But I reckon the one that's really getting away is Caden Winter. We see Michael Duncan's rolling up to play a bit of a defensive role on him, but he's got 15 to half-time, so he's been absolutely fantastic. And then, as you spoke about, those other 2 key roles, I feel Conlon hasn't really had an impact on the game because Harry Weaven's doing a good job. As we spoke about, key position players don't really stand up on days like today unless they're exceptional and they get out. But then also at the other end of the ground, I think Gilmore's doing a great job on Minogue, who started the game really well but probably died out of it a little bit.
The one goal.
Yep.
Is there a possibility that Albury, particularly with the way their injuries are going, look to do a bit of full forward to midfield rotation? It might result in seeing someone like a Jacob Conlon go into midfield to try and throw his weight around, and on the flip side of that, to North Albury try and inject a Jackson Wiedemann, who's been very quiet, into the midfield as well.
Yeah, I've got Wiedemann down for 1 touch to half-time, so he needs to get around it. Maybe they try to get him off the back of stoppage or something like that. But it's not one of those ones, when he does come up to the back of stoppage, Jackson Wiedemann, it's more that handball receive type game.
Not winning it.
Yeah, and you're not going to get that on a day like today. It's more just go and get it. And we saw, I think, Conlon come up to the ball as just an extra midfielder. There was just a lot of players around the ground. I think that was when we saw there was only the one contest inside the Albury half, which was, I think it was Walker and King who were playing on each other, only 2 players inside that half. So I feel that they're just going to get up and around the footy. It's just going to be a bit of a rolling maul for the second half, and it's just going to get worse and worse, really, the standard.
You don't really get this sort of weather up on the Gold Coast in winter, do you, Sky Burgess?
No. I was literally just checking the weather to see what the degrees are. Only 10 degrees. You can really start to feel it dropping a little bit cooler as the time is going on. So it's going to be important on a day like today. We've already seen some injuries. Wet weather footy, you're throwing your body around, that they don't get any more injuries. Keeping those boys warm is going to be vital.
Why don't we chuck to our netball wrap, shall we? For Ray White Rural, it was a win to the Wangaratta Magpies over the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Well done to Tam Matthews and Lauren Morgan from the Myrtleford Alpine Saints camp, who broadcasted our netball game today. Over to you, Tam, for our scores between Wangaratta and the Myrtleford Alpine Saints.
Hi, this is Tamara Matthews with the O&M Live Netball Wrap-Up, thanks to Ray White Rural. The broadcast game today was from the Macnamara Reserve, where the Myrtleford Alpine Saints hosted
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Shaping lives through nursing? Building communities through community services? Maybe caring for animals through veterinary science? With GoTAFE by your side, you can make it happen. From agriculture, hospitality, health and wellbeing, trades and education, to hair and beauty or creative, learn real skills for real jobs and careers right now. With GoTAFE, you've got this. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
R14.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Half price until half time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half price selected beers until half time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Stats on the 40-wing stat sheet before we kickstart the third term.
Yeah, massive quarter that quarter in the clearances for North Albury. They had 14, which took them to 22 for the half, while Albury had the 10, took them to 26. Inside 50s, he's 20 to 18 at halftime, North Albury's way. Both had 3 marks inside 50. While we go to the player stats, Broomhead's been kept to the 6 by Jacob Page, 15 to Caden Winter, 8 for Julian Hayes, 7 for Arch Gardner, and just a couple for Jackson Wiedemann. While for Albury, Mullers had 12. Elliot Powers now out of the game. We'll take him out of the sheet, but he had 5 for the quarter time. 14 to Fletcher Carroll. Jackson Kelly's got the 6, and just the 2 to Will Unthang.
And Sky, looks like Zach Hanrahan is okay. Looks like he's going to take the ruck contest of this centre bounce for North Albury.
Yeah, absolutely. He's headed back out on the ground, and we will keep an eye on him as the game goes on. But fingers crossed he's okay. I think we've had enough injuries for today, haven't we, Gussie?
We certainly have. Elliot Powell out, so is Big Kelly.
Ben, as he's walking across the ground, struggling a little bit to even walk there, Big Ben.
George Goody has not come out from the rooms with a suspected dislocated shoulder. Well, not suspected, it was dislocated.
Yeah, it was definitely out.
It was definitely out. And part of me just thinks George Goody will want to do everything in his power to get back out here, even just for the final siren, should North Albury find themselves in front. Time will tell. The third term for the locker room at the SS&A is underway on O&M Live. And Muller's going to go on the ruck. Hanrahan won it. Conlon's gone into the midfield. Jacob for the Albury Tigers. Hacked off the ground forward. Tracking this one is Unthank. A 40 wings disposal, albeit not clean. Broomhead got a fresh long sleeve on. Gets a handball. The umpire's going to pin him here for going out of bounds. I thought he was signalling a throw there for a second, which is going to be a little bit stiff, but a boundary throwing slightly into attack here for North Albury on the outer side of the Alamein Avenue wing.
Thrown back in. Muller and Hanrahan. Broomhead got a kick out of the congestion. A couple of early touches for Tim. Floats it to half forward. Polkinghorn's over this football. Burns sort of just worries him out of it a little bit. And we're going to have another stoppage, 55 around from the Hoppers goal. Kicking to the Logan Road end in this third term for the SS&A. The locker room, half price before half time. Down there last night.
How good was the game on the TV last night?
It was a great place to watch the game.
We left at half time.
Oh, I love that game.
When Adelaide kicked 9 goals in a row in the second quarter, I took advantage of the half-price beers and got out of there. Ball on congestion. Conlon's going to be pinged for a throw there. Yep, on the far side, Monty, and a free kick to the Hoppers.
Yeah, absolutely. Just got dispossessed of it as he was trying to get hand to it.
Penny kicks inside 50. Good work from Duncan there at the back of the contest. Josh Minogue was held, then pushed in the back, and he won a free kick. Take your pick, what for? And he's proven today that despite the fact there's a heavy ball, this is well and truly within his range, Monty.
Yeah, not paying the hold there, the umpire, for Josh Minogue. And we saw in the first quarter that he was able to kick one exactly the same spot, straight through the middle. But this one, obviously, another 2 quarters of footy with this rain has not eased up. It's going to be a lot harder to get there, and the ground's going to be a lot softer underfoot. So we'll wait and see. I know Panda thinks he'll probably put it through post high, but it's going to be a struggle, I think.
I was nodding to say, yes, there's 2 more quarters with a heavy footy, Monty.
To the Logan Road end. This to give North Albury the lead. Josh Minogue kicks on goal. It's across the face.
Half post high.
Minor score for Big Josh. North Albury 3-2-20. The Albury Tigers 3-6-24. Thanks to Inspirations Paint. Jeff Gray and the team at Inspirations Paint, Keilor Street, Albury. Jeff will be here somewhere, Panda.
Yep, he'll be under the can bar.
Tiffany's behind the glass having a few refreshments. Good man, Jeff.
As Unthank brings it in, it's a bit of a dangerous kick, but it just gets over the reaching arms there of Winter and finds the chest of Jake Page. In defensive 50 for the Tigers. Kicks it down the line. Ramage went with the 2 hands out in front, dropped the mark and then dropped the ball. Probably should have been a free kick to Jackson Kelly. Ramage and Tiziani down at ground level, ball up. 60 around from the Hoppers goal. Haven't had too much footy on this broadcast side. Good to have it right in front of our commentary position as Muller taps it down to Conlon. His kick was smothered by Archer Gardner in the long sleeve. Garland over the footy, same as Penny. Hand passes it, Sears tries to get a boot to it. King's kick was partially smothered. Conlon does well, wins the footy onto Muller, and he kicks it off a step towards Tiziani.
Walker back at the contest for the Albury Tigers. Great tackle from Weaven. It's an elite body and paint play that from Harry Weaven. On to Hayes. Can't play on there, Monty.
Yeah, everyone had stopped for about 3 minutes. And Julian Hayes goes, I'm going to wander off with this, see if he says it. And the umpire said, no, Julian, bring it back. So great tackle there from Weaven. And yeah, he's been really good today. He's done his job on both. Conlon when he was on him earlier, and now Walker.
Gives the ball to Hayes. Hayes runs into a brick wall. The Albury Tigers on to Kelly, on to Tiziani, running into an open goal. Tiziani, it stops on the line. It has hit a puddle on the goal line and stopped dead in its tracks. My goodness, have you ever seen anything like that before? It was bouncing, dribbling through, and stopped by a...
Well, you're just trying to be a bit too leery there, just trying to snap it around. Put us through post high, mate.
He should have learnt that from the first time that happened in the game. It's not going to dribble through today. You just got to follow through and belt it in.
I'll tell you what, Keithy, talent's breathed a sigh of relief.
big time. Not the worst miss today.
That's making the O&M Live Instagram for sure. So Keith's talent missed from the goal line in the opening term, and Tiziani's ball is stopped in the puddle in the goal square.
Really good showcase of the standard of footy we have
Ordinary
here.
scenes as Garlett works a little bit of magic in the pocket, kicks it back to the top of the goal square, and the Hoppers on the last line of defence rush it through for a minor score. We've seen everything here. You two have called a game of football, you and Big Mac Gus, where you couldn't figure out who was who, and now we've seen a ball stop on the goal line.
And I'm tipping Gambo's having the same problem today at McNamara Reserve.
I think he is, as Broomhead brings it out of defence, looking for Hanrahan. Muller slides in at ground level, takes it for the Tigers, intercepts 55 around from goal. They lead 25-20.
Muller avoids the puddle with his kick inside 50. Jeffy, he got enough of that one, Garlett.
Absolutely.
3 or 4 bites of the cherry, and Garlett marks 15 metres out in a tight angle.
I don't think the puddle will be the issue for Jeffy right now, but Jackson Wendyman should have done a lot better there, I feel. Should have gone back a little bit harder, but just went over his hands, and Garlett stood there and took a pretty easy mark in the end.
He'll run around for a banana, Jeff. Right foot kick, steady. He's across the face.
He's third behind.
It just didn't swing back, Monty. He struck the ball nicely, but the curve on the banana wasn't there.
Too wet.
Yeah, and he's also, the wind's sort of heading in that direction, so I'll probably just pushed it across the face of goal a little bit too.
So minor score for the Albury Tigers, 3-8-26 to North Albury, 3-2-20, 6 minutes gone for NZ. In a thrilling start to the third term here for the locker room at the SS&A and their $1 wings, Panda.
Oh, yes. Ripped into a few of those last night, certainly. As McGrath took a really good mark with the outstretched mitts for the Tigers, who have just stepped up the intensity a little bit in this third term for the locker room. Repeat inside 50, Scotty Montgomery.
4 inside 50s to start this quarter, to 1 to North Albury.
And that one resulted in a point behind to Josh Benogue. And the Tigers could have kicked a couple of goals here to probably put the result beyond doubt almost in this third term. Instead, it's a 6-point margin. 26 plays 20. Carroll brought down without the footy. Hoppers fans once holding the ball. Page, he wasn't able to get a foot to it as well. Tracking this one back is Kelly. Fresh out off the ground was Byrne. Dennis almost kicked his, a kick in danger against Nathan Dennis, and it's going to be a free kick here to Max Byrne in attacking 50 for the Albury Tigers.
Yeah, a bit silly there from Dennis. Just had to be smart. Knew there was going to be an Albury player coming through. On days like today, you've got to be careful not to give away those silly free kicks, because ground position and scoring, hitting the scoreboard is going to be so vital. And Byrne, we know, is a nice long booming kick normally.
Not sure if he's kicked too many goals. He's normally a defender.
Watch out for that puddle, Max.
This will take an almighty effort. He kicks it into the man on the mark. Big pack of players. Hayes is just going to reef it out of there for the Hoppers. It's a one-on-one here between Campbell and Oliver Hayes, and Campbell just kicks it off the ground towards centre wing.
Polkinghorn tracking it here, and so is Michael Duncan. Stays alive. Well done, Polkinghorn. Fed the ball back inboard. Dennis. North Albury get a kick down the line out of bounds on the full, unfortunately, off the boot of Campbell. So they gain some valuable yardage here. They can set up behind the play, can North Albury. So it's Packer. He's going to kick long down the line. Not the best kick. Works out okay.
Threading the needle.
Reece King goes a torp. Up towards half forward. Good use of the body there from Walker. Got Wiedemann out of the road. Hands and knees was Julian Hayes. Fed the ball out. North Albury going to stand up here on the last line of defence as the ball pinballs around 30 from home. Wiedemann clears defensive lines in the centre of the ground, but Michael Duncan intercepts for the Tigers.
Plays on straight away, goes out wide towards half forward. Good work there. Tracking back was McIntosh for the Hoppers. Reynolds wrapped up Tiziani without the footy. Umpire says play on. A little bit of soccer stuff was Carroll. Polkinghorn came after him. In the end, Cullen runs it over the boundary line for the Hoppers. And it's going to be thrown back in 50 around from the Tigers' goal. Right in front of the can bar over there. It's packed under there with the big gas heaters. It's where all the support is today, and you're getting pretty loud at the moment, Monty, for the Newmarket.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Something to warm the body up. Definitely the cold beers will definitely be helping that, so we don't blame him for getting a bit warmer.
Monty, we'll get you to go around the ground shortly for Mr. Stove's Pool World. Big news coming out of the WJ Finlay Oval. We'll go there shortly. Conlon burrows his way through. Kelly trying to keep it alive. Albury Tigers are appealing for a free kick. The umpire is going to blow his whistle for a stoppage. 35 metres out from Tigers' goal. Mr. Stowe's pull well around the grounds.
Yeah, down at WJ Finlay, as you said, Gussie. 3-goal lead to the Panthers, 37-19. We got a 3-point lead to Wangara and Myrtleford. Obviously, that one's early, still early in the second quarter. 60-point lead to Yarrawonga over Corowa, and we've got a 24-point lead to the Wodonga Bulldogs over the Raiders.
Kelly, his kick is out of bounds on the full as he kicked it towards goal, right in front of the North Albury Sports Club here.
Didn't you say at halftime the rain was going?
That's what the radar suggested. Just taking its time to disappear.
Sky got really excited when he said it was going to stop.
Well, Sky said that
I disagreed.
her
The
radar was
radar I
different.
was looking at said we had more coming, especially between 4 to 5, and he disagreed. So we're going to
give it a little bit.
See which radar's right.
Jane Bunn will get it right.
Aren't you
Flex
weatherman
Carroll.
on Ace Radio?
Yes, I am. Flicks it back to Kelly. High up and under. Big pack of players. Broomheads around this football. Reece King just lost his footing. Sears did really well. He was clean just to get a kick. King jams it on the boot for the Tigers. It's a high up and under inside attacking 50. Off hands from Campbell. It's shoveled back by the Tigers. Duncan did well. Hand pass it on to Reynolds and he gains valuable yardage for the Hoppers.
Keith Talent is tracking this one. He's going to have 2 to beat. Packer does well. Talent's going to keep his feet. Support comes for the Albury Tigers. Packer's done really well. So has Keith Talent. Now Polkinghorne. And he sees the ball across the boundary line. Well done to Keith Talent, Monty. Had 2 to beat. Made a contest. Got the ball out for a
Yeah, that's a win to Talent, I feel. It was a 2-on-1. I thought Unthank probably should have used his body a little bit earlier and provided Shepherd tried to do it late, but just missed out. But Packer did well. Just got it towards the boundary line and got a reset.
11 gone for NZ. Not sure why they're calling for that. Oh, bit offline, perhaps.
Yeah, 5 metres offline.
10.
It's all right. He's got a good bit of range, this boundary umpire.
He's the one in the runners too.
He's the one that went arse over tit earlier before the game, Gus McLeod.
He certainly did. He went A over T. Muller's in the ruck here. Front spot against Hanrahan. Muller won the tap. Pinballs around there. Fletcher Carroll went for a soccer. So did Page. Page got a big kick. King got Tim Broomhead in a big bump. Broomhead pops up pretty nicely. Inside 50 goes Winter. Did it go out of bounds on the full?
Yep.
It did. So it's going to be a free kick to Max Byrne deep in the pocket for the Albury Tigers. 26 plays 20. Albury over North thanks to Inspirations Paint. And for the Newmarket Hotel, Sky Burgess. Looks like you're eyeing on something down there at boundary level.
I do. I just noticed on the far wing, Jackson Wiedemann, when he did that awesome tackle, he stayed down for quite a while and he has limped off and just gone under to see the trainers.
Big breaking news at the McNamara Reserve. Got a few sources there, and Cal Moore has just torn his hammy mid-sprint, can barely get off the ground.
Oh, no.
So a massive story for the Wangaratta Magpies, who cannot take a trick in season 2024.
They're not finishing top 3.
Boundary throw-in. Beautiful boundary throw-in as well. Favoured Muller, who tapped it down to Kelly, who's getting busy. He kicks the ball to centre wing. Walker went with a fresh airy. Wiedemann also did. Campbell's picked it up. Holding the ball. Good tackle from Jeff Garlett. And it's a free kick to the Tigers right in front of our commentary position as we tick up towards the 12th minute mark of the third term for NZ. The Tigers 26, the Hoppers 20 for Inspirations Paint.
Oh, Jeffy, what are you doing? Drop the footy there, boys.
Dropped it there. Byrne for the Albury Tigers. Regathers on the Fletcher. Carroll kicks long down the line. Friendly fire. Darcy Cullen held on to the mark.
And Hanrahan.
Big Zach Hanrahan, the man from Baruga. Cullen on the left boot. Makes a nice connection down the line. Big contest. Muller. Clumsy from Muller. Free kick's going to go the way of Foster Gardner. He just punched him in the face after all of it. Gardner feeds the ball backwards. Campbell, Isaac, inside 50, top of the goal square. Big contest out the back. Lurking hard here is Taylor. Can he keep it alive? He can't. Albury have numbers there in support. So to take it across the chalk for a stoppage. Bit of a comedy of errors there. We had the friendly fire. We had Isaac Muller throwing haymakers. And
we had Jeff Garlett sell a bit of candy and drop the ball.
Did well the first part, Jeff.
Been a
Is this the second part?
Real showcase of good football. This boundary throwing deep in the pocket for North.
Don't you love Ovens and Murray footy? Broomhead. His kick found Polkinghorne. Back to Gardner. Great smother there by Duncan for the Tigers. A great defensive effort. He follows up with a kick off the ground and exits defensive 50. Campbell's been all right this quarter. Over the footy. Tigers want ball. Umpire not buying it. And we're going to have a ball up edge of the square. Just 4 to centre here for North Albury broadcast side. Only one goal. Sorry, no goals, in fact, in this third term. Sky Burgess spotting a few things on the boundary for the Newmarket. We'll get to her soon. High up and under. Ball lands on centre wing. Broomhead getting a little busier. Keeps his kick in. And it bounces off the chest here of Max Byrne. And that's a win for North Albury. Monty. It's going to be thrown back in 60 around from their goal.
Absolutely. If you had taken that uncontested mark there, they're going the other way, the Albury Tigers, but just fumbled it over the line. And now we're going to have a boundary throw in and a stoppage right on the 50 arc for the North Albury Hoppers.
Sorry, that was Quaid. Gus McLeod. Number change.
He has, wearing number 50. And Harry Cameron's wearing 28 as well for those playing along at home.
I think his normal number's 50, boys, Ty Quaid, but in the Indigenous round he wore 24 and they just haven't changed it on Play HQ yet.
And 24's his number in the thirds as well. Captain the thirds interleague side. Good young player. Wiedemann wrapped up in a tackle. We're happy to see this one in the hands of the umpire for a restart. True centre wing broadcast side. 6-point lead to the Tigers. 15 minutes gone for NZ in the third term. Big contest. Well done there by Campbell. Get the ball forward. Big wrapped up tackle there on Winter. He's putting together some game for the North Albury Hoppers.
40 wing stats, boys.
How many for Fletcher Carroll, Monty?
I've got Fletcher for 19.
Been good.
Probably been the two best on-ballers for the respective sides again today as Winter comes through once again and he's wrapped up.
And they've both done a lot of that. They've been tackled a lot around the footy, both Carroll and Winter.
I reckon Jake Page has gone to Winter.
Yep.
Almost
well,
in
he's
this
at this
term.
stoppage anyway.
Yeah, whether that's a match-up change or Tim Broomhead's just getting a little busier.
That's his 6th for the quarter.
His kick, though, is a little bit errant. It's been marked by Fletcher Carroll on centre wing, who's been brilliant for the Albury Tigers.
Also coming up for 6 for the quarter.
He points to the half-forward flank and says, get there. Off hands, roving beautifully was Matty Walker. Not a great kick inside attacking 50.
That's
King
50.
marks
That's
for the
50 every day of the
Hoppers.
week.
He plays on. Finds Gardner, and we've had 3 marks in a row.
Stop
Wowee. Stop the game and end it now. Take it away from McRae voters.
We got a bit ahead of ourselves, Pen, and now it's back to the scrap.
Oh, that's in danger.
Off the ground, Carroll. Then King for the Albury Tigers. This is going to stay in play. This is going to stay in play from the puddles once again.
We've had a little bit of everything today, haven't we?
How's us getting excited about 3 kicking
Marks
marks?
in a row.
Sort of sums up today's broadcast and today's game of footy. 16 minutes gone for NZ. Boundary throwing comes back into play. Muller took it out of the ruck, got tackled by Gardner. Should have been a free kick up towards half forward. Taylor does well. Bit of a toe poke in the air inside forward 50. Packer tries to find Fletcher Carroll, but his handball was a bit skew-iff. And it's out of bounds, 60 metres around from North Albury goal. I'd love a goal here, Monty, for the Newmarket Hotel. Would North Albury just take a bit of confidence into three-quarter time? Probably about 5 or 6 minutes to go here in the third.
Yeah, absolutely. Neither side yet to hit the scoreboard with a goal, so definitely need to hit the scoreboard soon just to keep them in that touch, because Albury are probably doing enough where they're kicking points to be able to pull away just enough.
Beautiful little tap down from Reece King earlier. Fletcher Ramage's kick, I should say, floats to half forward for the Hoppers. Carroll with another 40 winks. Reynolds came through and won it for the Hoppers. Floats it to half forward. Punch from behind came from Taylor. Gardner's over this footy. Gets a 1-2 from Polkinghorn. Almost the first 1-2 we've seen of the day. Foster Gardner hand passes it to Broomhead, who torps it from 30 and kicks a Sunjan goal of the day. Tim Broomhead setting this quarter alight in the third term. A wonderful goal and scores a level 26 apiece. Scott Montgomery.
Yeah, Timmy Broomhead, 7th 40 winks touch there. What a coach's goal that is. They definitely need that. Gus McLeod just mentioned in the call, we need to hit the scoreboard here for North Albury to make sure that they're within touching distance, get the scores back level. Been absolutely fantastic this quarter. Tim Broomhead, and I reckon Jake Page might have to go back to him if that change has been made of him going to Winter.
It looks like they have dropped the tag as North Albury kicked 3 consecutive goals in a row to draw level 4-2 26 to 3-8 26, and that's the $1 million question. Where does Page put most of his time? We've seen Winter get off the chain with how many 40 winks?
I've got Winter at 17.
Well, now Broomhead has just put them right back into this contest. So the big question marks
to Muller. Yep.
For the Albury Tigers to address.
Well, maybe because they're 2 rotations down with Powell, they've gone, well, what's the point in the tag? We need Page as an offensive player. Maybe that's what they've gone with, Monty.
And I also didn't mind when Jacob Conlon was in the midfield.
Yeah, I liked it. Bigger body. He was moving around all right. Now he's sitting at full forward for long periods at the moment.
Muller from the ruck contest, kicked it into Hanrahan. He'll fill that one tomorrow in the fingers. Big tackle applied. North Albury one holding the ball. They won't get it. Wasn't much prior opportunity, I didn't think, but this game's lifted. This game's lifted off the back of Tim Broomhead's only goal in this third term. Muller won the tap, but it's going to come back pretty quickly. Pinballs around the cricket wicket. Broomhead got ragdolled. Kicked forward by Hanrahan. Shallow entry inside 50. Players lurk around this contest on both teams. Looks like Duncan's there. He'll be the recipient of this ball. Stoppage, 45 metres from goal. Directly in front. Muller just tries to heave it, but he missed the ball. Inside 50 goes Gardner. Trying to find Minot. Good body work there from Hamish Gilmore to see the ball across the chalk for a boundary throw-in for the Newmarket Hotel. Right in the boundary, Sky Burgess.
Hey guys, I can just confirm before, it was not Wiedemann, it was Julian Hayes that came off for North Albury. He's been fully assessed by the physio. He did come off with a bit of limp, but he's warmed up and he's now gone back out on the ground. He's got the all okay.
He has had some hamstring troubles this year, Monty, hasn't he, Julian Hayes? So
he has.
Been in the wars.
Yep. Ball sort of just scrimmaging around the North Albury goal here. 40 from goal. King soccers it off the ground. Players on hands and knees at ground level where the ball has lived all day. And the umpire call it, ball up. They've got to blow the whistle a little bit earlier, don't they, Monty? It's been a frustration of mine all day.
Oh, just in conditions like this, the ball's not going to pop out. Just blow the whistle and then it can clear out a little bit more. Just, yeah, it helps all the players out too. They don't get as frustrated.
We'll go around the grounds for Mr. Stowe's Pool World soon. Get some updates for some other scores and a scrappy day for footy as Gardner's brought down in a big tackle by the Tigers. We're going to have another stoppage. We might quickly go around the grounds. Scott Montgomery for Mr. Stowe's Pool World.
Yep, still a 3-goal lead to the Lavington Panthers, 38-20. We've got a 4-point lead to Myrtleford over Wangaratta, and we've got a 54-point lead to Yarrawonga and a 38-point lead to Wodonga.
Shot on goal from the pack here from North Albury.
It was Minogue.
I reckon it was Big Joshy. It's across the face for a minor, which gives North Albury the lead for the first time this afternoon, according to my notes.
Yep.
Which is a big, big swing in momentum for the North Albury Hoppers. They trailed as much as 15 points at the start of the second term. Doesn't sound like much, but in wet weather footy, it's pretty big. Talent onto Hayes. Hayes inside forward 50. Good mark. It's Keith Talent. Thought it was him a bit earlier up the ground, but he's found himself closer to goal and has a big opportunity here to undo his horrific mistake in the first term. Keith Talent will have a set shot 25 metres out directly in front.
And I think the difference in this quarter for North Albury is some of their prolific ball winners. We've got Tim Broomhead's had the 9, Julian Hayes has had the 4. He's so damaging when he's getting the foot in his hand. And Archie Garner's really lifted, had the 6 touches, and now it results on him hitting the scoreboard.
Here comes Keith. Right foot kick. It's low, but it's across the line. Keith Talent kicks a big, big goal. North Albury's 5th. Massive goal for Keith Talent. And North Albury kicked their 5th and hit the front by 7 points.
Albury, that goal right there gives them that little bit of a buffer now. 7-point lead. It's exactly what they needed. They've started this third quarter so well. They're just going to make sure they finish off with about 5 minutes to go and not give a cheap one back the Albury way.
Panda, the Albury Tigers haven't kicked a goal since the 10th minute mark of the second term. So what's that, a quarter in 10 minutes of footy? They hit the scoreboard pretty quickly.
Really, that was probably the first minute of the quarter because the quarter was
Correct.
obviously stopped for 9 minutes. So a bit of momentum here for the Hoppers. They've kicked the last 4 goals in this O&M Live broadcast game on 2AY as Winter kicks it to half forward again. Talent and Taylor. It's socket off the ground there by the Tigers. And they get a boundary throw in. They have all the momentum here at the moment, Monty. Your momentum's a big thing on a day like today.
Absolutely it is, and you just got to make sure you continue to hold it for as long as you can and continually hit the scoreboard because they're absolutely killing it at the moment and being able to do that, they just need to make sure they can do it again.
Boundary throw in. Muller and Hanrahan. Muller with another tap. Falls the way of Broomhead, who once again gets a big clearance for the Hoppers. Floats it into attack. Minogue up against Gilmore. Hoppers want a free kick, and it's a boundary throw in.
Hoppers or Oscar?
Oscar.
I think both.
That was Broomhead's 10th possession for this third quarter, boys. So he's definitely, this tag being dropped is a poor decision, I would have thought.
So a boundary throw in, 30 metres around from North Albury's goal. They lead by 7 points, 33-26, I meant to say. Gus McLeod for Macrae Motors.
Muller won the tap and slapped it into Hanrahan's face.
A big falcon.
Just a quick one, boys. I reckon it's Jacob Conlon who is supposed to be manned up on Tim Broomhead. Just watch him at that stoppage. Wasn't within 10 metres of him.
So they've thrown him back into the midfield, Monty, doing some great work for the Newie. Appeals for a free kick.
It's a high
Gardner is going to get it. I reckon he played that well. kicks to the top of the goal square. Minogue was held.
Free kick.
Minogue was held. And you can hear the Bronx cheers from below the open air box as Josh Minogue wins himself a free kick. Tight angle, but he'll kick it from no more than 10 metres out.
This is a massive one, right? He puts this one through, gives them such good breathing space, and Aubrey would have to kick 3 to get back in front, which have only kicked 3 for the game so far.
Looking for his second and the 5th consecutive goal for North Albury. Looking at a 13-point lead. Minogue plays on, snaps.
No.
And misses. Gee, that could be costly. He struck the fat side of the ball, and I've got him down for 1 goal, 3.
And all 3 of those behinds are in this quarter. Could have been a massive quarter for Josh Minogue and the North Albury Hoppers.
Bad kicking's bad footy, Panda. 34 plays 26. North Albury lead the Albury Tigers on O&M Live. It's a big third term thanks to the locker room at the SS&A.
25 minutes played for NZ. Could that really come back to hurt the North Albury Hoppers? Time will tell as Unthank brings it out of defence and finds touch of boundary throw in 60 around from North Albury's goal. 5-4-34 to Albury 3-8-26. The margin is an even 8 points. AFL Nation action. Hawthorn Collingwood, a beauty following this one. Ladies and gentlemen, should be a ripper. Expecting 85,000 there at the MCG. Elimination final.
It's weather like this, it won't be 85,000.
Absolutely not. Penny just bumps Duncan off the footy and then dropped it. Toe poked it forward. Carroll's tracking it back for the Tigers. Broomhead tackles him. And we have another stoppage, 30 around from North Albury's goal. Another late one here they'd love. Gus McLeod for McRae Motors.
They certainly would, Panda. Just to outdo the wrong of Josh Minogue, you would have backed him to kick that 9 times out of 10. Albury, clear the defensive 50. Just pinballs around 55 away. Hacked inside forward 50. That was okay from Weaven, but it spills out of bounds. So North Albury, they've got to lock things down here at the 26-minute mark. Not allow Albury Tigers to kick a goal, but equally, Monty, try and kick one more themselves.
Absolutely. They've had really good field dominance for this second half of this quarter. They're up to the 9 inside 50s Albury to North Albury to Albury's 7. So they've had all the dominance. They just need to make sure they hit the scoreboard again and get some good reward for that dominance.
Muller had a field day in the ruck. Gains about 15 metres out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. 80 metres from North Albury's goal. We've played 26.5 minutes here for NZ Albury. Can't imagine there's much time left in this third term. 34 plays, 26 North Albury over the Albury Tigers from McRae Motors with Blake Penderescott.
Muller just tapped it down. I think that was King who was brought down in a big tackle by Penny just as he was about to get boot to ball.
Got to get it in.
And Penny gets it in straight away. Kicks it to the top of the goal square. Minogue! An elite body and paint mark of the day. He just lost a bit of contact there with Gilmore. And Minogue will go back from pretty much the exact same position as he missed 20 metres out slide angle.
Incredible forward craft from Nathan Dennis. He would just block the laneway so incredibly well there, Monty, to allow Minogue first
Absolutely.
crack.
Just got that little half a step in front of Gilmore, just took him off that lead with Minogue, and that was all Joshy needed, and was able to get the big chest in front of that one, take a good chest mark. Only 15 metres out, slide angle.
Has to go through here for North Albury. This would take the margin out to 14 points. Josh Minogue starts his approach, keeps it low and hits the post. Hits the post. You can hear the groans from the supporters. He's got 1 goal for Josh Minogue. A couple of big moments here in this third term. That would have made things so hard for Albury. The margin now, 9 points. 35 plays 26 as we tick up towards three-quarter time here on O&M Live.
Muller dropped the ball. Carroll across half-back. He's going to come back in pretty quickly. Tim Broomhead marks 55 from home. Kicks inside forward 50. Big pack. Talent. Got a good piece of it, brought it front and centre. And the siren sounds for three-quarter time. It was the last roll that iced here in the third term. Keith Talent could have had a shot on goal, but he dropped a pretty tough opportunity. Three-quarter time. 5-5-35 the North Albury Hoppers. The Albury Tigers 3-8-26. How long since North have beaten Albury, Panda?
16 years, Gus.
16 years, and it's all coming down to this next quarter of football. They'll come into the main break with their tails wagging North, but you can never write off a champion team like the Albury Tigers. A monumental final term coming your way next here on O&M Live. And on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Shaping lives through nursing? Building communities through community services? Maybe caring for animals through veterinary science. With GoTAFE by your side, you can make it happen. From agriculture, hospitality, health and wellbeing, trades and education, to hair and beauty or creative, learn real skills for real jobs and careers right now. With GoTAFE, you've got this. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Half price until half time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half price selected beers until half time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Welcome back to Bunton Park. It's a big final term coming your way here. Sky Burgess, you just ran into the scaffold. Hope Sky's all right.
Stuff everywhere.
26 plays 35. Monty Hill of the McRae Motors caught us best in the fourth.
Yeah, for mine, for North Albury, Tim Broomhead had the 11 touches. He was absolutely fantastic. And Archie Gardner really stood up too. He had the 7 touches. While for Albury, I thought Fletcher Carroll was unbelievable as well. He had the 9. And Isaac Muller had 7. But his dominance in the ruck again was very, very focal for the Albury Tigers.
9-point lead to North Albury. Here to start the fourth term. Who wins from here, Mont?
I'm going to go North Albury. I reckon the way they played that quarter, they were fantastic. If Minogue had to kick 1 or 2 of those 4 shots, he had a goal. The game's probably over already.
I tend to agree. We'll get to Sky Burgess shortly for an update at three-quarter time as Blake Panda Escott for Mac Jack Sheds kickstart a big fourth term.
Massive fourth term for the context of these two sides season. Top three on the line. The Hoppers and the Tigers as Broomhead once again kicks it forward for the Hoppers. Talent wanted a free kick. Umpire said no. Foster Gardner's around this footy. So's Taylor. Well done, the Albury Tigers. Conlon move it out of half back. Broomhead's there once again for North Albury. Page tackles him. Broomhead did well to get a hand pass to Campbell, who kicks it forward for the Hoppers. Too big, too strong. Muller takes an intercept mark for the Tigers at half back against Keithy Talent.
Mr. Stokes pull world around the grounds, Panda. 8 minutes into the final term. It's a game-high 25-point lead to the Lavington Panthers over the Rovers. The Rovers are going to have to more than double their score in about 25 minutes of footy to beat Lavington. Big upset brewing down the road.
Are they the biggest fair weather team we've got in the Ovens and Murray? They cannot play these conditions at all.
No.
The Rovers.
Boundary side, Sky Burgess, the Newmarket Hotel. What was one of the messages from the coaches at three-quarter time?
Yeah, I did head over to the Albury huddle. I just wanted to see kind of what he had to say to his team to get him up and about. Pretty much similar to what we heard from our North Albury side at first quarter time. Just pick it up, get it on the boot, get kick kind of thing. And they just want their players to push up the ground a little bit. You know it's going to fall short on a day like today. It's not going to get 80 metres, so push up and be useful.
Tiziani goes long down the line. Reynolds went with a big extravagant mark. Ramage is first back there for the Hoppers. Garlett tackles him. It's hovering around the Tigers attacking 50. Boundary throw in far side. 35 plays 26. A 9-point lead to North Albury. We've played 2 minutes for NZ Albury in this fourth term. All thanks to Mac Jack Sheds. A big hello to Phil Packer and the crew at Mac Jack Sheds. Great supporters of O&M Live. Muller grabs it out of the ruck. Conlon left it behind. It's socket out at defensive 50 by North Albury. Polkinghorns over this football. And in the end, we have a ball up just forward to centre. 60 around from Albury's goal. Gus McLeod for McRae Motors.
Scott Montgomery for the Newmarket Hotel. Where is Jake Page going to spend most of this fourth quarter?
It has to be on Tim Broomhead. I'd love to
There he is there.
him. And I don't think he is next to him, to be honest, but he's got to go back to him.
Well, we know that Winter's playing some game, but Tim can win it off his own boot. So that's a big, big talking point for the Albury coaches to get right as the ball's pinballing around the other side. Penny kicks it up to half forward here. Minogue needs to be clean. Sockers it forward. Gets it inside 50, and now it's a foot race. Minogue again. Sockers on goal. Josh Minogue. It beats the puddle. Josh Minogue socketed it from 25 metres out. Had enough pepper on it to beat the puddle. And Minogue finally hits the big sticks. North Albury extend the margin to 15 points. A Petters.
Same position on the goal line, but Minogue had a bit more pepper through that soccer off the ground and straight through. I tell you what, we'll put those 4 misses in the third quarter behind him. There's his first goal in the last quarter and gives them a massive lead of 15 points 3 minutes into this last quarter. Josh Minogue, take a bow.
It was a soccer off the ground from 30 metres out, tied up against the boundary. Some goal from Josh Minogue.
And he beat 3.
And a massive moment for the North Albury Hoppers, who lead this game by 15 points over their arch rivals. Carroll over this footy. So's Broomhead. How many 40 winks for Broomhead in the fourth term?
Got him to 3. Got him to 3 so far, and he's up to 20 for the game.
So would you still put Page back on him even though they're down by 15?
Yep.
Have to.
So 41 plays 26 here. And another stoppage in the middle of the ground at Button Park.
I had Broomhead for 6 at half time, and he's had 14 in the second half.
Making a case almost for the Anytime Fitness Player of the Day. Muller, another ruck tap, beautiful, down to Charlie McGrath, who kicks the Tigers forward. King's going to get a free kick for a hold here. It's against.
No, it's against him.
It's against Reece King. So King is going to get a free kick.
Sorry,
King.
No.
King and King. Where's the Queen?
Oh.
He goes short to Julian Hayes in defensive half of the ground for the Hoppers. It goes to centre wing.
Hayes trying to find Gardner. Reece King lurking around this one. Good work there from Hayes. Got a fist on that one across the boundary line for a boundary throw-in.
Talent has got mud in his eye. He has slid straight into the Albury bench. He can't see and he's running off the ground.
Duncan's going to come on to replace him. Boundary throwing, true centre wing, Dog Park side here at Bunton Park. Just repeating, 41 place, 26. North Albury are on the brink of defeating the arch rival for the first time in over a decade as Muller wrapped up in a big tackle. The North Albury fans let him know about it, the former coach. Hanrahan kicks inside 50, not the best kick. Reading it nicely was McGrath. He's putting together a pretty good game today, Smudge McGrath. Goes for an outside of the boot, banana kick out wide to the Alamein Avenue side. Reece King got some work to do, sockers it forward, gained some valuable metres. Well done Reynolds, Slitting got a fingertip on it. The ball goes out of bounds, so Albury do well to clear defensive lines, get the ball up towards half forward or between half forward and centre wing for a restart. We've played 5.5, almost 6 for NZ. North Albury lead, 6-5-41 to 3-8-26.
We'll get some 40 wing stats soon and we'll go around the grounds and find out what's happening in some other big games. Campbell bananas it, off a step, edges it forward 20 metres for the Hoppers. Leighton Taylor was clean, went by hand to Winter. His kick down the line was partially smothered. Unthank runs it over the boundary line. Emil will have it thrown back in. Right on true centre wing. Scotty Montgomery, who's lighting up some of those 40 wing stats?
Tim Broome heads up to the 20 for the game. We've got 19 to Caden Winter, 13 for Julian Hayes, 14 for Archie Gardner, while for Albury, Fletcher Carroll's got the 24 and Isaac Muller's got the 20.
And Zach Hanrahan has kicked the footy out of the ground. He has kicked it on the roof and it is out of the ground. What else can happen in this game today?
Well, that will mean a new footy.
We've already had a new footy.
I've seen my brother get a cricket ball put on that when he was bowling a couple of times by a couple of North Albury cricketers over these times.
I've seen Angus Kilby hit one of that roof. So the ball's onto Alamein Avenue. Someone might be able to go
Sauce
and get
has
it.
just tried to barrel one from over here too.
That's a brand new footy. That could really
open things up a little bit.
Open things right up here a little bit. It's a brand new Sharon coming out. Albury will be begging to get that new ball into their hands. If the Albury player out there who's going to receive it, Unthank, just needs to play on quickly and get the new ball moving. It's going to suit their style of play much better. Unthank's the one. On the left boot, kicks long down the line. Big contest on centre wing on the outer side. Pinballs around. North Albury have numbers, but Fletcher Carroll's there for the Albury Tigers. He's starting to get off the chain. Kicks to half forward. Walker was the target. Brought it front and centre. North Albury defenders now starting to lift. They clear defensive lines out towards centre wing. Big contest made there by Taylor. Got some work to do against Conlon. Now Minogue pushing up the ground, wins himself the football, handballs, has another go at the cherry, does Minogue. Working hard here as McGrath, dispossessed, feeds it backwards towards Packer. North Albury just gritting this ball forward, off the left boot, they get it up to half forward. Working hard as the Albury Tigers, they have numbers, they clear defensive lines into the middle of the ground, and it is a foot race here, but Penny's going to get there first for North.
Yeah, and flicks a hand pass over the top to Reynolds, who ran for a bit of support. Kick inside forward 50, looking for Foster Gardner. Back there is Quaid for the Tigers, so's Byrne. Going in there was Dennis. Found a hand pass into the pocket. Conlon working hard in defence for the Tigers, goes out by hand to Duncan. And in the end, we get it over the boundary line and it will be tossed back in. 45 around from the North Albury goal, who lead this game 41-26. 15-point leaders over the Tigers. We played 10 minutes.
Around the grounds, Mr. Stove's pool world. 15 minutes into the fourth quarter. Wangaratta have kicked a goal, the Rovers. 27 plays 45 over Lavington.
That's our 3&E broadcast game. Repeating here in this fourth term for Mac Jack Sheds. The Hoppers have kicked 5 in a row to lead this one by 15 points. As Weaven kicks it into attack. Here's a chance for Leighton Taylor, who can snap and kick a Sunjan goal today. North Albury are running away with it now. They lead by 21 points, 47 plays 26. Taylor snapped through a wonderful sausage. And the Hoppers, Monty, are going to be hard to beat from here.
Yeah, very hard. They're going to have to kick 5 goals here, I think, Albury. So North Albury going to be very, very hard with that 21-point lead early in, or midway through this last quarter.
What a goal and what a swing in momentum for the North Albury Hoppers. Sky Burgess, boundary side for the Newey. The Hoppers faithful are loving it.
I know, I was just about to ask Panda what that bell is. It sounds awesome over there, but I've got to say I'm so impressed with North Albury today. I really thought the weather would get them, but they are throwing their bodies and they are bringing their physicality to Albury, that is for sure.
So we've got a free kick here, or
Ball
up.
Ball up.
The ball up, into attack for the Albury Tigers. It looks like Matt Walker's gone into the ruck, or certainly on ball. Wins the contest there.
Surely,
Free kick surely to Matt Walker. Appeals for 50. Umpire said no. So Matt Walker's going to get a free kick here, Monty. 75 from home.
Yeah, absolutely, as you spoke about. He's gone up around the footy, hasn't had his hands on the footy much in this second half, so it's not a bad move from the coaching staff of the Albury Tigers.
Walker, a kick and a half from home. Shocking kick inside 50. Spills out the back to where North Albury have numbers and they clear defensive lines. Duncan was front and centre. Quade's got some work to do for the Albury Tigers. And well done by Foster Gardner. Just slid in there. Eyes only for the footy. Out of bounds for a boundary throw in right in front of our broadcast position. 10.5 minutes gone. North Albury lead 47-26. Thanks to Wodonga Border Carpets.
Had that as the first true, genuine inside 50 for the Albury Tigers in this last quarter. So North Albury having all the field position.
Winter, kick was intercepted by Walker, who had a bit of a fresh area and was pushed off the footy. Max Byrne wraps up Dennis, and we're going to have a ball up 65, 70 metres around from the Tigers' goal, who trail by 21 points, 7-5-47 to 3-8-26. Kelly, who kicked a great goal in the opening term, was grabbed without the footy. It falls the way of Reece King, who goes by hand to Cameron. Here's a bit of space for the Tigers. His snap was partially smothered. It lands in the mud pile, 20 from goal. Ramage has dived over the football. The Tigers want a free kick for holding the ball. Umpire says no, and it's going to be balled up 20 metres out from the Tigers' goal, who need one from this stoppage, Scott Montgomery.
Yeah, absolutely. And a nice clean tap here from Isaac, who's been winning them all day, and just down to one of their midfielders.
Muller took it out of the ruck, threw it on the boot, didn't quite get anywhere. Broomhead evades some pressure. Hayes got to be clean. Got to kick away, get the ball out of bounds, what North Albury want. McGrath's doing some good work. And it's out of bounds for a restart. In front of the Mac Jack Shed scoreboard, which reads 7-5-47. The North Albury Hoppers to the Albury Tigers 3-8-26. Albury haven't kicked a goal since, in essence, the first minute mark of the second term via Matt Walker.
Boundary throw in. Muller grabs it out of the ruck, able to get a clearance. It's punched by Weaven and a boundary throw in. So Monty, North Albury are in the exact same position 3 weeks ago against the Wangaratta Magpies.
And what was the statement you said?
I said it was curtains. Came back to bite me a little bit, but they will be thinking here, they've obviously gone back and reviewed it. They probably practiced it. So now it's time to put that into motion, isn't it?
Absolutely it is. I feel now they're in a position in a day like today, 21 points up. You've got to kick 4 goals, Albury, to even get close. Just control the game now. Every time you get a nice mark, just take 30 seconds off the clock, chip it sideways if you can, or just get field position. Get it as far and as long as you can, and they're going to throw that one back in again, surely.
Yep, they are. So a triple threat here from the boundary umpire. Is going to have 3 bites of the cherry.
He's getting good distance, just a bit wayward.
In all honesty, a big shout out to the boundary umpires who have worked their clackers off today, and it's hard.
Oh,
it's very hard indeed. And it's tossed back in.
That's a free kick against North Albury then,
yeah,
isn't
it is. No, I think they're going to re-throw it back in again, are they?
No,
it's a free kick to Matt Walker.
It's got to touch the ground before you can touch it.
So the boundary umpire threw it about 40 metres. Caden went to grab the footy.
Oh,
and it's a free kick to Matt Walker
That
here.
is so stiff.
And this simply must go through for the Albury Tigers and Matty Walker, who was their last goal kicker at the 11th minute mark of the second term.
It's been almost an hour.
So they trail by 21. He'll kick from probably 48 metres.
Oh.
Isn't the greatest of kicks, and diving down low and taking a mark.
Jeez, that hit the ground, boy.
I'm not sure who that is.
Oh, it's Tiziani.
It's Lockie Tiziani, who took a diving slip mark down low, and this has to go through, Monty, for the Tigers.
Tell you what, if they got sent upstairs, I don't reckon their batsmen would be walking. But anyway, Tiziani was in front, first to move as a forward that you need to be. And Walker's last 2 kicks going inside 50 haven't been great, but Tiziani really good there, took that mark, and we'll go back and have this shot. They need this one.
One of only 3 goal kickers for the Tigers today, Tiziani. Starts his approach, comes in and misses. That could be really costly for the Albury Tigers. That had to go through.
Pandy, you don't want to say it, I'll say it. It's curtains.
3-9-27. The Tigers to North Albury, 7-5-47 at the 15th minute mark of the final term.
Hayes kicks in from fullback, just looking for yardage. Albury get the ball back inside 50, and it's in the hands of Garland. 30 metres out, pressed up tight on the white picket fence.
3 behinds for Jeffy today.
No forward's been dominant. Garlett's going to centre the ball top of the goal square.
Tiziani
again.
Wow.
Sloppy defending from North Albury. You don't want to say deja vu just yet. Tiziani's going to kick across his body from point-blank range. Has he got it through? He has. So Tiziani kicks a much-needed goal for the Albury Tigers. 4-9-33, the Albury Tigers, the North Albury 7-5-47. On the Wodonga Border Carpet scoreboard, 15 minutes gone for NZ and Monty. There's a sniff.
Have to get their best players around the ball. Muller's been absolutely instrumental today in the ruck. Just need to get him to get it down to their mids as every single opportunity and get them on the fly, because Fletcher Carroll has been unbelievable too. Had the 26 40 winks touches. He could be massive to finish this game.
So Tiziani breathes a little bit of life into the Albury Tigers. It's their first goal, guys, since the 11th minute mark of the second term. We'd only played about a minute of match time because there was a 9-minute stoppage in that term with Elliot Powell taken from the field in an ambulance. Here's Penny, edges it forward here for the Hoppers. Balls goes out to the far wing. Blomley sockers it off the ground. Carroll brought down at a big tackle from Dennis. Foster Gardner tries to jam that on the boot. His kick smothered over the boundary line. It'll be thrown back in, true centre wing far side. So 15 minutes, 16 minutes to pass Gus McLeod for McRae Motors on the NZ Albury time clock. And on the Wodonga Border Carpet scoreboard, it's a 14-point lead to North Albury.
North Albury, they'll be riding this one home, looking to break a 30-game drought against the arch rival, the Albury Tigers. Broomhead on the left, long raking kick up towards half forward. Quaid lurks around it for the Albury Tigers. Got pushed, umpire let it slide. Inside 50, Michael Duncan mops up for the Albury Tigers and kicks it long down the line, gains some yardage. It's as deliberate as it possibly comes, but you won't see that one paid here this afternoon. Boundary throw in front of the North Albury faithful under the can bar here. And they'll be riding every bit of emotion home at the 17-minute mark for NZ Albury. North Albury, they lead 47 to the Tigers 43.
Tackle.
Nephew of Luke Packer.
Mr. Stokes Pool World around the grounds. Thaguna have defeated Chilton.
Wow.
In the TDFL, 39-33. Big win at the Kennel. The beers will be flowing there tonight.
Yeah. Pretty sure D-Mac said during the week that Thaguna got their pants pulled down by Chilton the first time around, so that's a massive turnaround.
That's huge in the TDFL scheme of things. And of course, 2AY will be the official broadcaster, Gus McLeod, of the TDFL final. So stay with us on 2AY. And
I know Dan Vaccaro's pumped.
He is. He loves Sandy Creek. It's in much better position than this today. As Broomhead torps it forward for the Hoppers. Max Byrne in a contest over there with Minogue. Hoppers fans want a free kick. They're finding their voice here at the 18th minute mark of the final term for Mac Jack Sheds. They hold on to a 14-point lead. Scott Montgomery.
6 40-wing stats in this quarter for Tim Broomhead. Takes him to 23. And that's 17 since halftime when the tag got dropped.
It's anytime fitness, player of the day sort of stuff.
It's right up there.
From Tim Broomhead, pinballing around 45 metres out from North Albury's goal. Monty, what do Albury need to do here to open the game up?
They've got to try and get some numbers away from the footy. Everyone's inside the North Albury half at the moment. A lot of players are around this stoppage, which is exactly what North Albury want, because we're just going to get repeat stoppage after repeat stoppage.
So on hands and knees, lurking around this one is Jackson Kelly.
Ooh.
Matt Walker, dump tackle.
And it's going to be on. It's
going to be on
Big
here.
Time.
And it's going to be injected by the fuel of the support and feedback from both respected fans. Not sure who was the recipient. 50-metre free kick. This is going to result on a shot on goal for the North Albury Hoppers.
Smart by now, Pod. He's got the footy and got it moving.
I'm not sure who's going to have the footy in
Jack
hands.
King took the free kick.
Play on, top of the goal square, bouncing at the post.
That was bizarre.
I missed that, to tell you the truth.
I don't think it was supposed to be Jack King.
They played on with an advantage and kicked it to Jack Reynolds, and he just kicked the point.
So Duncan across half-back, dangerous switch inboard. North have numbers, Broomhead's one of them. Links up with Gardner, head over the footy. Was he taken high? Umpire said no. Reynolds wrapped up in a tackle and will ball the footy up 25 metres from North Albury goal. 19 and a half minutes gone for NZ. 15-point lead to the Hoppers. They're hanging on in a thriller.
48 plays 33. Sliding in there and taking
kick.
the legs was Campbell. Blomley should have been the recipient of a free kick there.
Big time.
Yep, for a sliding knees. That was dangerous. But it's balled up inside attacking 50 for the Hoppers, where they love it at the moment in this final term for Mac Jack Sheds. Getting a kick out here was Gardner. Duncan's wrapped up Gilmore, and we're going to have another stoppage 20 metres out from the Hoppers' goal. 20 minutes played. They need a goal pretty quick, Gus McLeod, to the Albury Tigers.
For McRae Motors, ball comes back into play. Captain Grumpy Penny was there. Handball over the top. Albury on the last line of defence, got some work to do. Michael Duncan gets a clearing kick out towards the broadcast side flank. Great contest. Well done, Hanrahan. The big ruckman made a big impact there. Now Reynolds.
Out of bounds on the full.
Is it out of bounds on the full? Well spotted, Monty. Talk us through that one.
Yeah, just as he went to ground there, Reynolds, he's flicked the boot out and went out of bounds on the full. Very, very stiff.
So balls at half back for the Albury Tigers. Zimmy King, Reese, clicks in the back pocket. Albury going to bring it out towards our broadcast side wing. Need Muller to mark. Got a good piece of it. Tiziani head over the football for the Albury Tigers. Hayes is there lurking. Umpire blows his whistle. Will ball the footy up. Scott Montgomery missed the Stoves around the ground.
Just quickly, boys, 19-point lead to the Panthers over the Rovers. Got a 4-point lead to Myrtleford over the Magpies. A massive 72-point lead by Yarrawonga and a 50-point lead to Wodonga over the Raiders.
Hearing as well that Cal Moore has ripped his hammy off the bone. That's the word from the Wangaratta Magpies bench via Myrtleford. So here's Talent on the far side of the ground, wrapped up at a good tackle by Unthank. And he's been pinged holding the ball. Incorrect disposal. And Unthank has it in the defensive left flank for the Albury Tigers, who need to kick 3 goals in not much time. 33 plays 48. It was a dangerous kick from Unthank. Duncan could have been paid a free kick for without the footy. Walker edges it forward for the Tigers. Hayes intercepts and jams on the boot for the Hoppers. Back inside 50 they go. Down there is Taylor, also Dennis. Unthank's wrapped up in a big tackle. Oh, holding the ball.
Oh, stiff Unthank.
Pretty stiff there, Will Unthank, I reckon. And a free kick and more time off the clock for the Hoppers. It's going to go the way of Leighton Taylor, I think. He's going to have a shot from 30, Outmont.
Take his full 30. He's got to if he's smart. I think Jackson Wennemore just ran over and said, slow it down, take your time, mate, but just really need to just take your full 30, get as close to the goal line, get a score of some kind, and make all we have to go end to end. Don't want to try and chip it and turn it over through the middle of the ground here.
So Leighton Taylor has taken his full 30. 22 minutes played now on the NZ Albury time clock.
Looking for his second this term, Panda.
Kicked an important snap before.
It, go with it.
So Leighton Taylor starts his approach. Kick on goal is going to hold up in the wind. Look at that. Almost went up over his head. Snap on goal from Caden Winter. Has also gone backwards as well. It's gone backwards and stopped in the wind.
You hurt the crowd.
And Winter's kicked a minor score. It's a 16-point lead to the Hoppers. 49 plays, 33, Gus
The
McLeod.
wind has flicked around too, boys. It was heading across that far goalpost near the canteen. Now it's going straight down Albury's way.
Reynolds left it behind in the centre of the ground. Taken high was Weave, and umpire let it slide for North Albury. Smack bang in the middle of the centre of the ground. And all North Albury are trying to do is take precious time off the clock for the North Albury Hoppers. They're on the brink of one of the biggest wins in their club's history. Fletcher Carroll for the Tigers. Kick was smothered off the boot. Pinballs around in the centre of the ground. Polkinghorn lurks. Feeds the ball out wide. Well done, McIntosh for the North Albury Hoppers. Now's a go for Broomhead on the left boot. Just toe pokes it forward. Michael Duncan, being superb for the Tigers, has to stand up. Leighton Taylor's on hands and knees for North Albury, slides in and gets a stoppage once again. More precious seconds tick off the clock. 23 and a half, almost 24 gone. North Albury lead, 49-33 on O&M Live from McRae Motors.
Fourth term for Mac Jack Sheds. Jack Penny just had a fresh airy. A lot of those today, that sort of day. And it's going to be another stoppage, 55 around from North Albury's goal.
Just looks like Fletcher Carroll's carrying something too off that kick that was smothered in the middle of the ground. Just really, really hobbling around out there.
Taylor snapping towards goal. Outreached arms there of Unthank. Gilmore did well to find a hand pass. His kick, though, intercepted by Broomhead, and Leighton Taylor fight for the footy. Kelly's tackled Broomhead over the boundary line, and another important stoppage and boundary throw-in for the North Albury Hoppers in their attacking half of the ground. They lead by 16, Gus McLeod.
I think it might be safe to say it. It looks to be curtains here, Panda.
Go on, Panda, say it.
25 minutes gone for NZ. Muller won the ruck contest. Captain Grumpy, Jack Penny, he'll be smiling tonight inside 50. Gardner does well on the boot. Dennis, high up and under, pinballs around. Head over the football is Blomley. Heart and mouth stuff here for the Albury Tigers. Well done there by Taylor. Out the back of the contest, spills out. Jackson Kelly for the Tigers. Now Fletcher Carroll on the boot, out of bounds on the full. So it's a free kick to North Albury here. Is it going to be Timmy? It is Broomhead.
How many now, Scotty
Who's gonna be the
Montgomery?
This will be his 8th for the quarter boys, up to 25.
Now, Broomhead's going to be smart here. He's going to take his full 30 seconds, make it look like he's having a set shot.
Timmy's the sort of guy to kick it from here, but...
Might with a wet, heavy football.
Yep.
If he kicks this goal from 50 metres out...
You'll eat your hat.
I'll eat my hat.
Jeez, come on, Timmy.
And it's a pretty big hat at that. Tim Broomhead from 50 plays on. Top of the goal square, looks all right, touched on the line.
Jeez, that hat would have looked
Touched
tasty, I reckon.
on the line, 25 and a half, almost 26 minutes gone.
It's over.
50 place, 33. Albury have to kick 3 goals in about 3 minutes, I reckon, if not less, to win this contest. Panda for McRae Motors, take it away.
Gilmore brings it out of defence. Conlon got a fist to it. Duncan just clears it to the wing for the Tigers. Off the ground went Weaven. Tiziani shoves it back to Blomley here. Campbell did well to intercept and just gained valuable yardage once again for North Albury, who get another stoppage, a stoppage-a-thon here in this 4th term. 50 plays 33, 26 and a half played on the NZ Albury time clock as we start to think about our anytime fitness player of the day. Sky Burgess will be down there on the boundary. We don't have a wireless microphone today. It's pooped itself. But we still will have some social media coverage. And Monty, we'll leave that decision to yourself and Sky. As Polkinghorne went without it. Dennis did well. Hand passed it inside attacking 50. Gilmore is being tracked by Broomhead. Off the ground go the Tigers through Packer. And it's trickled over the boundary line for a boundary throw in as Gardner sees it over for the Hoppers. 50 plays, 33, Gus McLeod, 17 points the margin, 27 gone for NZ.
George Goody, who's got the sling on the boundary, the captain, they'll be soaking this one in. The North Albury Hoppers, fair to say, I reckon they're home.
What's the bell, Panda?
I've no idea.
I was going to say...
I reckon it's North Albury trying to blow the siren. Pinballs around on the outer side of the ground. They're going to do enough here, North Albury. Umpire's going to blow his whistle.
They're ringing the bell.
Oscar Ramsden, he'll be up and about tonight, the big O. There won't be enough beer at Button Park tonight, I can tell you that right now. 17-point lead, North Albury over the Albury Tigers. Pinballs around on the outer side. Winter, been superb. And we'll ball the footy up once again. 27 minutes gone, only seconds left in the Mac Jack Sheds final term.
Muller taps it down. Hayes going in here, and he's wrapped up straight away and will be balled up on the far wing. 50 plays 33.
They have sore arms, that bloke ringing the bell.
I think he does. It could be Kenny Bruce. He's lost his voice. There's Jack King. He's been wrapped up. Wiedemann edges it forward for the Hoppers. Swooping on this is Winter. Was able to get a kick inside forward 50. Leighton Taylor's been good today. Edges it into attack even further. Campbell and Gilmore. Kelly. Big scrappy play around this attacking 50. Polkinghorne finds a hand pass to Penny, who tries to break away from the Carroll tackle. Off the ground goes Dennis. It's stopped in that puddle. Socket off the ground from Talent. I reckon it's been touched through for a point. So it's an even 3 goals. 51 plays 33. This will be a massive win for the Hoppers in the context of their season. 28 played final term. They're bearing down to finish the top 3 footy, are they, Gus McLeod?
Hanrahan for North Albury just tries to get it forward. Big Muller there for the Tigers. Hacks the ball forward out of bounds on the full.
That's the Bronx cheers.
The Bronx
cheers here
cheers
at Button Park.
For their former coach, who swapped the colours of North Albury for the black and gold of Albury Tigers. A crosstown rivalry change of clubs from Isaac Muller. He's been reminded of that by his former faithful supporters. Across true centre wing. Long kick from Broomhead. Siren! A 30-game drought has been broken at Bunton Park. 2008 was as far as you have to go back in the history books for North Albury to defeat the Albury Tigers. History has been written at Bunton Park, and North Albury claim one of the biggest wins in home and away history. Final score, 7-9-51 the North Albury Hoppers to the Albury Tigers, 4-9-33. There won't be enough beer at Bunton Park tonight. The Hoppers claim a win for the ages over the arch rivals.
A massive 4 points for North Albury, and they got their eyes firmly set on top three footy in season 2024. A massive win. 2008 was the last time they beat the Tigers, and they're heading towards September. Are they in season 2024? Tim Broomhead was prolific in the second half. Monty, how many 40 wings disposals?
I got him for 20 in the second half. He had 26 for the game. I only had him for 6 at half time. So 20 in the second half when that tag was dropped by the Albury coaching staff. So you got to question whether that was a good call or not, and I'm going to say it wasn't.
Certainly not after those numbers. So they're up and about, the Hopper faithful. Josh Minogue with a couple of big goals. Tim Broomhead kicked one in the third term. They went on a run of 6 in a row, did North Albury, after Matt Walker put the Tigers 15 points in front, Gussie, 22-7 in a 15-point lead. And the Hoppers, as they sing the song again here, kicked 6 in a row to run away with, well, a 21-point margin, and then Tiziani kicked it back to 14 points for the Tigers. But they were brilliant, weren't they, in that second half, Monty? They really got the game on their terms.
Absolutely. They were fantastic. As we said, the coach really got moving, didn't he, Timmy? But he was helped by Archie Gardner after half-time was fantastic as well. He really stood up for them, and just their whole work, the way they coached, I thought, was a lot better than the Albury Tigers. Once they hit the lead by 2.5 goals, they got a lot of numbers up and around the stoppages, which made it a lot easier for them to just control the game. Didn't let Albury get any flow or any run at all. So it was absolutely an outstanding performance from the North Albury Hoppers.
So Tim Broomhead receiving the Anytime Fitness Player of the Day. He was tagged by Jake Page in the first half. He was tagged out of the game on Anzac Day, Scott Montgomery. So have to question just why that tag was dropped at half-time, especially when the Tigers were in front by 5 points.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? It's a really, really interesting one. I just can't see why you would do it when you've kept a guy like Tim Broomhead to 6 touches in a half and you drop a tag, and yeah, I don't know.
We'll take a break here on O&M Live. On the other side of the break, we're crossing into the rooms for the North Albury song. They've run away victorious, breaking a 30-game drought over the crosstown rivals. North Albury, too good for the Albury Tigers on O&M Live. There's a big beaming smile in the commentary box, Monty.
It's massive. It's not
and
us
it's not
either.
coming from you and I. North Albury over the Albury Tigers. The song on the other side of the break on O&M Live, where you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Shaping lives through nursing? Building communities through community services? Maybe caring for animals through veterinary science? With GoTAFE by your side, you can make it happen. From agriculture, hospitality, health and wellbeing, trades and education, to hair and beauty or creative, learn real skills for real jobs and careers right now. With GoTAFE, you've got this. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Half price until half time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half price selected beers until half time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.